Golf season quickly approaching, already here if you live where myself and Trent live.
Yep.
Chevy wants to help you make the most of every drive. The all-electric Equinox EV has it all. This show has it all, too. We're going to do a quick little outline, but the point is we have the whole squad now, which has gone from 3 to 6 quickly.
It really has.
We're all together. We add to myself, Frankie, and Trent. We add Beef. We add Francis. We add Jersey Jerry. So we got all 6 guys on this show. We do a lot of golf talk. And, you know, if you really look, the recreational game of golf is what's thriving right now. There's a ton of talk about getting fit, clubs, swings, action. We get a bunch from Jerry and Beef about 2 pretty different looks at the world of golf.
Yeah.
And then we get into TGL and Horschel and all kinds of fun stuff. So it's a great show. We're all live and in person, and we know everybody thinks the podcast is better when it is in person. So enjoy the show and enjoy the Chevy Equinox EV. The LT has a starting price around $34,995, and the EV, the Equinox EV, it offers a best-in-class 17.7-inch diagonal standard touchscreen display. Do yourself a favor, do everybody a favor. Head on over to Chevy.com/EquinoxEV. Head on over there, check out product info, lease offers, and all kinds of amazing deals. The Equinox EV accommodates with comfortable seating up to 5 people. That is Chevy.com/EquinoxEV. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
We would probably want the first ace to happen at an elite course, which to me means that from this point on, we should only play like top 50 courses in America.
Honestly, clearly this problem has gotten so bad that the only recourse we had was add more guys.
Fore-play, right, Barstool Sports. We are live from Carlsbad, California. We've got a hell of a crew on here. I got myself and Frankie Borelli. We've got Francis. We've got Jersey Jerry. And we've got Cody, a.k.a. Beef. What a crew.
Welcome to the show, boys.
You know, what a crew.
Trent Ryan will be joining us. He is getting fit for new irons. He is deciding between the QI, I think it's still the QI 10 irons, and the brand new P790s from Taylormade. He's working with Adrian, who quite literally just got done fitting Rory McIlroy. He's the top fitter in the world, Adrian, here at Taylormade. The fact that we get to get fit by him is an absolute joke, and people should be pissed off.
You know, shame on YouTube Golf
Yeah.
for putting us in the same day of fitting with the guy who fits Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
It's criminal.
But there are multiple lines of irons and drivers, and you've got guys from Jerry who is learning how to. Jerry started his fitting today asking if he's a right-handed or a left-handed golfer.
Well, yeah,
that was awesome.
I didn't know. I mean, I was using P7. I had no business using P790s.
No.
I like the copper look. It was nice.
Now,
Good looks.
if you see P790s on the market somewhere in the Chicago area, you know that Jerry is absolutely selling those because he just got the brand new QI.
Jerry wants to get fit once a month for something different, so that they'll just keep sending him new irons that he can sell on eBay.
We walked in today. He
Or
grabbed
Facebook
me
Marketplace.
and said, "You're telling me we get to fucking keep these things?
Yeah.
Everything we get
It
to?"
is a joke. It's crazy.
No, it's unfortunate. You do feel this is what, like year 5 coming in here, year 4.
I think so. Year 5.
They had data from me from 2021 in the putting lab, so it's really surreal. I definitely don't feel I don't feel like we belong here every single time we come in here, but the people here are so nice. They're so welcoming. They really do want to help you get better. And like we said, like, this is what fitting is really. Everyone needs to at least experience this in some facet. It might not be, you might not have the means or the ability to go do the full thing, but there is a way to get in front of a launch monitor, to get your hands in front, to get your swings in front of someone that knows what they're talking about. I mean, Beef, this was your job. Like, you were able to assess
100%.
people's swings. You could probably talk about it better than I can.
So everybody should go through a fitting process at some point in time. Like, if you're spending the money to buy clubs, play golf, go to these places to play golf, you need to go through a fitting process. I mean, Francis gained 30 yards today. 30 yards. That's 3 clubs.
With his irons.
With his irons, right? Like,
It's just preposterous.
if you think about other aspects of your life, and we talked about this earlier this morning in the hotel, was if we were going to drive a car in the snow and it didn't have snow tires on it, we had California street tires, like, how poor would the performance be? And if you've just never been fit that way or even thought about your game that way, This is the easiest way to raise your percentages, lower your score, instant gratification, instant feedback. You could see from literally working with fitters and be like, okay, let's try this shaft, which is heavier, which means ball flight's going to change around, right? Or this shaft was a little bit more whippier, which means we're going to be able to work it either more left and right. And your game may have too much. Like you may fit for, hey, the big miss is going to happen this way. And how do we give the best irons to you where if you do have your miss, it's not this 300-yard thing off the planet. It's now manageable and in play.
It says in your face as the fact that I was hitting too much of a hook on my miss, and we took the weight and we put it in the toe, and now that just flattens it out.
Yeah.
It's straight. And it sounds stupid, and you probably could do it on your own. You could be messing around with the different weights, but it's like these guys know what they're talking about. They see the numbers. They say, this is what a driver should be. You shouldn't be above 3,000 spin or whatever the numbers might be. And once you hit one and like, oh, 2 spinning, let's change it out. Yeah, it's an exclusive, extreme situation that we're at here at the Kingdom, but they have these at every club, at every single PGA Tour Superstore. You can do this. This is accessible. It's getting to the point now where everyone can get in front of someone that can throw them in front of a launch monitor, and you can see your numbers.
Yeah, and I think that it is easy to sit here because we get to do this, and it's very cool. But to Beef's point, it's like if you're spending money playing golf, think about how much your rounds add up to thousands and thousands of dollars, the gas that you spend getting there, the food, all of it that you end up spending on golf. And if you spend whatever it is to get fit, and there's a bunch of different options, how much more fun that experience is if you're hitting the ball much better. Yeah. Like playing good golf is the most fun experience on earth.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But I just like to Frankie's point with how easy of a fix mine was today. I look at driver heads and they have different weights and they have different settings and all that. I don't really know what any of that means today. And my fitter out there today just changed the fact that like all of the heavier weights were in the back of my driver head and not the front. And they just flipped those around. And my ball went from like high spinny to the right to just much flatter, more penetrating driver ball flight, shot after shot after shot. And he's like, do most of your drives land and have like backspin? And I was like, yeah, like a lot of my drives, especially out in Arizona where it's overseeded rye, where it's like wet, even though we never get rain, you can literally see the ball mark for my driver and then see the ball somewhere near there or sometimes behind there. And he was like, that's not surprising to me. What's changed the weights? Took him about 30 seconds to just change the weights, flip them. And then the next 10 swings, he'll get a dispersion. And it was infinitely better. It's crazy.
I mean, what would you pay for the peace of mind of knowing it's not the clubs? Ever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, how many times have you played and wondered, like, I kind of just bought these things off the rack, or maybe if I had a different club, and you keep changing your club every year and hoping for things to be better, to completely absolve yourself of that doubt is a process that I would pay so much money for, and you can get that for a custom fitting.
So I had that. So I went to the putting lab here at the Kingdom, and I went in with the thought that I was going to get a new putter, a new neck, a new setting, a new length, whatever. And I kind of talked to him, and I said, listen, going into the beginning of the part of this year, I felt like I wasn't confident with the putter. I would go on the practice putting green and I would just roll putts with confidence, knowing I have another one right to my left. So I'm going to try different things out. I'm going to exaggerate the follow through a little bit and really make sure I have a nice smooth stroke. And it would always usually typically go in. And then when I go on the course, I would always feel a little bit defensive. I would be like, I can't actually follow through like that on the course. I'm going to miss this birdie putt. I got to do what feels, what looks normal. So I would maybe stop a couple times. I'd feel abbreviated. I'd miss a lot of putts. Anyway, fast forward to most recently, I feel like I'm just kind of letting that go. I'm doing Dr. Brett McCabe stuff, and I'm just putting the way that I should be putting. I'm coming through the ball a little bit more. So I went in with a little bit of confidence into this putting fitting. And what we found was So here's the funny thing. I've been lining up my putts from like 5 feet and in. I just think it's like the right thing to do. You
with the line on the ball.
With the line. Mm-hmm. You line it up, and I've been missing a lot of them. So he made me putt a couple without the line, and my degree of difference from when I took it back to when I made impact was 0.10 off. It was 0.78 to 0.82, which is almost zero. So wherever I am lining up and taking it back, I'm making contact on that same line. So now it's just about alignment of like, am I aiming right? So if I'm aiming on the right edge of the hole, I'm within a 10th degree of that, of getting it to that ball.
So are you now no more line when you're lining up?
So then I lined it up. He goes, let's just try it. So I lined it up, and I went from a 1.7 on the take back to a 2.9 at impact. It was over a point. It was over a degree open.
How interesting.
So I'm the type of guy, he goes, everyone has two different types of brains. He goes, so however you see the world. And then we got talking about space and just like, is God real? It was crazy. I said, I see the world insane. Like,
Just
you
jump
know,
down the rabbit holes.
like ice is coming and picking people up. It's nuts. Like, it's crazy. So like he was just trying to fit me with a putter. But he said some people see the world in a way where it's like you see this line.
Yeah, curved lines versus straight lines.
Yeah,
100%.
curved lines. Yeah, so he was like,
100%.
your brain's trying to keep this putter on the line, and you're not even realizing that if you took a bird's eye view and saw what you were doing, you're actually way out to in now because you're trying to follow this line on there, as opposed to if you just saw a white ball, just make your stroke. Your stroke is coming on like a curve a little bit, and you're not thinking about it.
Nobody actually just
Right. So it was really interesting. So long story short, I'm not going to putt with lining it up. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to make every single putt.
Wow.
So I'm the exact same way. Bald spot on the top of the golf ball.
Yeah.
Because like when I look down at it, if I'd ever used lines before, I would second, third, fourth judge it. I'd take a look from behind and then I'd take a look from looking down. And right when you move your head and look that way, it just never seemed on to me. Curve line guy.
There are balls out there like the Taylormade stripe ball that do work for certain people, but you have every single ball. You have them right here, right behind us. There's a million different options. Some people, Jerry, you like the clear lines.
I like double line. I like the ball line and the putter line too.
Yeah.
I need the putter line.
So you like it all to match up.
Yeah.
And probably some white lines too.
Yeah, of course.
Once upon a time.
Once
Back
upon
in
a
the
time.
day.
Oh,
We've gotten
yeah.
over that time.
Fun fact. Never a white line guy though.
Oh.
I went right to the hard stuff.
Okay.
That's not hard.
Was that brown?
I don't know. No, it's white, but it's no line. It's rock.
Got it.
That's unbelievable.
To segue from that, I will say this.
Now you're rolling the rock.
Yeah.
Smoking no more, Jerry.
The craziest part about this experience for me was I said to the guys, like, oh, how's the ball speed? He's like, here, come, I'll show you. He's like, your ball speed is 7 miles an hour above tour average.
Yeah,
That was shocking to me.
He was, Jerry was smoking. You hit a 265-yard 5-wood at one point.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Crazy.
dude.
Yeah.
Dude, he was hitting the ball as far as you could hit a 5-wood.
Well, the thing he made an adjustment wasn't really much. It was
And he does it, he like steps into it.
Yeah.
It's insane.
he made me. When I
Crow hop.
hit the ball, I usually have a slice to my game. He made me aim that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it like forced my brain to not hit it that way no more.
Jerry got a little bit of a lesson too, and it was all about takeaway. So like typically his and obviously Beef would know more about this than I would, but there was something about his visuals on the way that he was taking the club back. He made him basically close it completely.
Yeah.
And now when you open it up, you're not as open as you used to be.
Exactly.
Well, it's kind of like we went to such an extreme at one point in time that now your body had to figure out, right? Your brain had to figure out a way that you could not go further to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of tricked yourself into being, okay, if this thing was moving to the right and starting to the right and going more right, well, now if I'm aimed way over here, there's no chance I can make the same swing,
Exactly.
or else I'm going to be 3 counties over or in the ocean.
Yeah.
So now your brain's going, okay, how do we fix this? How do we get it
felt
back
weird
online?
at first, but
How do we create a
got used to
circle,
it.
right? Like, how do you match it up in your brain so that way you can't go that way?
Beef, do you recommend that that's like a forever fix? Or is that just like a swing thought to get
I think
him
it's
to
a great swing thought to get you back into the headspace that you need to be to get through it.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I would go out and play a round of golf with you guys or anybody else, myself, and I step up to the tee box using my driver, and the fairway's in front of me, but I'm aiming over here because I know my slice is going to take it over there. But now I'm aiming right, and it's like going straight.
Yeah, it's kind of like the thing of like, hey, if there's a hole and you have water on the left, I'm fine with you aiming at the water and saying, I need to hit a fade to hit this here.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of I need to think about just hitting it somewhere out there and then the ball goes into the water. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, there's
Tell
a
your-
lot of that.
yeah, tell yourself, like, I have to hit the fade here or else I'm hitting in the water.
Exactly.
And then go execute it, right? Or try to execute it.
really interesting having so many guys. We had 6 guys here today. How interesting it is. We all hit the ball differently. And I think that's what's going to make it a great video, a great experience. I think that's why Taylormade really enjoyed having us here. It's like, yeah, you have Rory McIlroy, you got all these guys, Scott Scheffler. They're within a tenth of a degree of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Adrian even talks about it. He's like, I'm moving these things within a millimeter, lie angles, whatever it might be. These guys have such a good feel, but for us, it's like we're talking about, like, how do we not slice this ball off the planet, or how do we get this ball to at least get in the air? And everyone listening to this, like, we all have our own issues. We all do something drastically wrong in this game at some point, and it's interesting to just, I don't know, you get to see what the fix is, and it's really not as crazy as you would think it is.
I agree with that. I think what you really learn too is that everyone's actually not that far off.
Yeah.
Like people can, like we're all out there actually hitting the ball into the air, out there, relatively straight, decent distances, even though everybody's swing is wildly different, even though, the guy goes from fitting me to like Frankie. If Frankie's hitting a draw, I'm hitting like cuts, and it's like I'm outside in, he's inside. But we're really not that close. It's like it looks and seems like, or we're not that far, where it seems like one is wildly different than the other. It's like, let's say I'm 4 degrees inside out or outside in, and you're like 2 degrees inside out. It's like, dude, we're still within low single digits of each other and of 0. That's pretty goddamn close for how much goes on in the golf swing. Totally. And even though it seems wildly different, and yes, with the and that's why they can really tweak. You're using the same club pretty much. They can change a lie angle, or on the driver they can change a screw, or they can change a weight, and all of a sudden it's the same swing, and it's really not that different. So what I think with getting fitted so much is like we all grind. I maybe more than anyone on like my swing and changing your swing all the time. Francis pulled Andy from the office and hit balls for 4 hours, or got a lesson for 4 hours yesterday, which I love. But it's like there's this psychotic theory that we all have of like changing your swing so much, when in reality what's so cool about a fitting and technology is like none of us really changed our swings that much today at all. No. And we all left being like, I'm going to shoot 0 tomorrow. I'm gonna shoot it's because the fitting, and they just change stuff. So I credit to Taylormade and all the technology they do. It's like none of us are trying to have the most pure swings and act like we're golfers from 1910 that are going to be able to use. We're all just trying to go out. And if you go out and play a game where you hit the ball better, and I get scoring matters, we all care a lot about that. But when you go out there and you just hit the ball well, it is the most rewarding and fun day you could ever have. Just like you're playing the golf course, you're playing the day. It's so fun. TaxAct makes filing easy with step-by-step guidance. Expert Assist is available to answer your questions. If you need a little help or a lot, there's a level of service for you that can answer all types of tax-related questions, and you will talk to a credentialed tax expert, EAs, CPAs, or tax attorneys. Every tax expert is based in the U.S. Go to taxact.com and start filing today. Filing for tax is incredibly important. You really want to get it right, gentlemen.
It's incredibly important, and this is the time to do it. 'Tis the season, as they say. So make sure you're going on TaxAct and getting it done correctly.
And like they said, they've got a little help or a lot of help, meaning there's a level of service for you no matter what kind of shape that you are in, no matter how much you know or don't know. There is a level of service for you at TaxAct. So make sure you go to taxact.com and start filing today.
I mean, I sent the screenshot of my 7-iron from my TrackMan numbers, my best one, to like 7 different individual texts of guys that I play golf with, followed by "you're fucked," just to threaten them. I wanted to threaten them and make them worry, because they're all back east. It's 5 degrees. They don't have 4 more months before they pick up a club, and I'm out here at the heart of golf.
Yeah,
fixing my game and getting fitted for the newest gear. So
you've suffered, and I use that term loosely, from just a lack of confidence in the last year or so.
Yeah.
I played with you back in Bayonne, and you would shoot mid 70s, high 70s with ease. Mm-hmm. Hitting, I remember you used to hit those 5 irons just forever. Mm-hmm. And it was your game, penetrating ball flight. And then all of a sudden it started just kind of whimper a little bit.
Yes, yeah.
And you got it back. It's that one swing thought. It's that one hey, you have a pro or whoever it is, or Adrian or anyone at Taylormade being you can do this. Here's the thing.
Yeah, I went and saw this guy, this Jedi Master golf coach yesterday.
Beef?
No. If I'd met Beef before, I would have.
We weren't on that same flight. You were going to Palm Springs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I would have maybe put my fate in your hands, but I had heard about this guy. His name's Brian Lebetovich. and he is, top 100 golf pro in the country. And again, not to like, I would have allowed you to really curate my game, but we had not met yet.
Yeah. All good. I'm not.
But I've become very fond of you, Beef, in a very short period of time.
It's mutual. Me too, Francis.
That's so great. You're such a good guy.
I've really enjoyed
Such
it.
a good guy.
I really enjoyed it this morning. It was awesome.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Well, I went to see this guy though, and he had been recommended by, they said if you need to go see this guy, you need to go see this guy. It's like in Oppenheimer when they're like, you need to go study on the ball, Niels Bohr.
Yeah.
learn from the greats or whatever. I went to see him, and I had 4 hours with him, 1 to 5 p.m. And it was just so obvious to him. He said, a lot of the time when I work with people, I have to make a lot of changes or it's not so obvious. He goes, you have one thing you need to change, your grip. And he forced me to go from having a very weak grip to a very strong grip. And it just...
With your right hand or both hands?
Both hands, turning them over to the right on the club.
Remember when someone told Lurch he had a weak grip and he just squeezed the club stronger?
He literally, his hands almost fell off because he had so much blood.
And Jerry,
Just squeezed.
able
would
to
you
go
know the
through,
difference?
you
Like, would
squeeze
you
it.
know? I didn't know, to be honest. When someone said you need to strengthen your grip, you would think to squeeze it, right?
Yeah, harder. Yeah.
No, that's something
All right.
about like turning it over and closing it more as opposed to having it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, no idea.
It's as simple as like, imagine,
I can imagine it, yeah.
strong. Like, strong, weak.
Yeah, the ability for you to close down the club face, right, or rotate the club face closed based on where your hands are at, is all it is. Essentially, what he told Francis is, hey, if you were driving a car like this, let's put your hands in a different spot and make it
Gotcha.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think I still have it wrong. So putting your hands almost like overlapping, that's weak.
It's more, so for you as a lefty, it's going to be...
So your right hand is going to be down more, and your left hand is going to be more over the top, and that's not going to allow you to close the face.
That would be strong.
no,
that would be
that's
strengthening
weak.
it.
That's weak. So if your
Got
left
it.
hand is in this position,
Got it.
you have no ability really to rotate this way. If I take my hand and I move it for you being a lefty on this side, look how much more I can rotate my hand over.
He's
Wow.
right. Yeah. Oh, turning it left
Did you hear
is
that? He said I'm right.
strengthening it.
Yeah.
Strengthening it.
It's so weird for us
It
trying
is
to
kinda-
become lefty for a second.
Yeah.
We also, it's bizarre that we have our own head golf professional.
It's
Like, he says it in
awesome.
all the videos, but like Cody Frankie is Barstool Golf's head golf professional.
I've been a PJ Pro for 8 years. So
It's insane.
like I'm like listening to Francis's 4 hours yesterday is awesome. Like I want to know where your confidence level was 2 days ago before you jumped on a flight, compared to what was your confidence level yesterday when you left, compared to what's your confidence level today now that you've gone. Hey, lesson, I got a great couple tidbits of what I'm going to do, and today I just gained 30 yards with a 7-iron.
I was I was not confident leaving it because I knew I had made this very kind of Sophie's choice decision to do the lesson right before the fitting, which was a hard decision to make because it was either I knew my swing was broken. I watch myself when we go play with good and stuff, and I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed. People send it to me and they say, my wife and I watch this to have a laugh together. I'm jumping at the ball. I look skittish. It was ridiculous. It's epileptic. But I had to make this hard decision of, do I go into a fitting with a brand new golf swing and probably not hitting the ball very well and not even being able to tell the fitter, I think that's how I'm going to end up hitting it going forward? Or do I get fit for clubs with my old swing, knowing I have to change my swing as soon as possible, and then potentially the clubs that I've been fit for are no longer, appropriate for my swing.
You did it the right way for sure, right? Like take the lessons, go get the way you want it to feel, and then allow the fitting to help optimize it from that aspect. But like what Riggs was saying earlier is, you can allow the fitting to help make what your swing is like. But if there's these major glares in there that you're like, I'm just no confidence, or I just don't like the way it feels or anything from that aspect, from the technical side, 100% go get the lesson, then go get fit from that aspect.
Yeah, I think if I could do it the right way, I would have done the lesson or a few lessons and then spent a couple of weeks working on the new swing and then done the fitting. As it were, I did the lessons yesterday, changed everything, came into the fitting expecting that it was going to be an absolute mess today. And somehow I got to give credit to both the coach that I studied under and then the fitters today and the technology that they have, because these guys here at the Kingdom, they knew what I was trying to do, and they would give me subtle swing tips to be like, I think this is what you're trying to go for. Move your hands here, do this. Like you said you wanted to do this. And they would correct me as like coaches would.
Yeah.
And
it's funny how they just can't help. They have to, which I think they should. It's the right move. But they've always done that when you come here, where there's a fraction of it, a little different degrees for everyone, that turns into a lesson. But that's also, they're like, I have to say it. I'm right here. Like,
Right.
I mean, I could be crazy for me not to say this. They make a little change, and then you flush it combined with the fitting, and all of a sudden you're like, you walk out of here every time, in my opinion, since I've been here, feeling like I'm about to play the best golf I've ever played.
Yeah, I mean, I am so stoked, and I think we've really turned the corner, and my dad says that every single year, and is only getting worse. So it sounds like something.
He needs to do a fitting. That's what he needs to do,
it
right?
rings hollow.
Bring him out here, yeah.
Well,
Christmas
for me,
gift, come out to the Kingdom.
The wand does make the wizard, and the wand maker maketh the wand that maketh the wizard.
My Harry Potter reference fell extremely flat in the putting lab. I said, "You're like Hollivanders." I said,
And
"The
the guy had
wand
no idea
chooses
what
the
it was.
wizard, Harry," and he's like, "You want to grab the putter?" It's crazy because it really,
Why
because
don't
he
you just go grab the
remembered.
grip over there?
He was like, "Oh, like I wonder," because basically he
Yeah.
looked
Yeah,
at
you
me.
were like 4 different ones.
He looked at me and was like, "In 2022, I fit you for this." And he was looking at it, and I was like, "You're fucking Hollivander, man. What's wrong with you?" There, and we can move on. We have a lot of golf stuff to talk about.
Surely
We've got,
not.
yeah. Nope, definitely not.
Yeah, do a couple spells, couple putts. You're like, nah, that's not the right one. Let's go to the next one.
Wisp of Dragon's Bane in the
Yeah.
shaft.
Its brother gave you that scar.
And then you're like, oh, does it come in yellow or red?
Yeah.
Like,
When it's
should it be blacked out? Like, sexy look to it? Like,
The last thing I will say on this is I feared a little bit for Francis because it's almost like brushing your gums so that they don't bleed when you go to the dentist the next day, or like running a marathon right before you go to, or like running on the treadmill right before you go to the doctor. It's like you're trying to put something, you're trying to mask before you go to the doctor or go to a specialist, where it's like, no, like just give me who you are and then I'll give you the clubs. But, and I asked you this question, are you going to commit to this lesson? Is that your new swing? And then it's perfect. Like, if it's not just a Band-Aid on, on a freaking waterfall of like bad swings, then sure. Like if this is a completely new foundation, then I think that's the right call. I think people go into fittings trying to like manipulate the numbers to become better as they do the fitting. And I talked about this with Adrian just a minute ago, where he was making me hit 4 irons, and my first couple went a little bit like fadey to the left. And then my next one, I hit like a rope, just like sizzling draw. And he's like, well, did you just change your swing? Did that feel uncomfortable? Because there's so many people that come in. He was getting aggravated. He's like, there's so many people that come in here, especially the pros, he said, and they'll chase the numbers, and they'll be like, oh, that was that club, that swing path was inside. All right, the next one, I'm definitely coming outside. And he's like, just swing.
Yeah.
Swing your club, and I will do whatever I got to do to the face angle, the lie angle, all that shit. I'm going to do it. Yep. So that was interesting to me, where it's like you really just got to go in who you are. And this new Francis is hitting a 7-iron,
200 yards.
It's
No,
crazy.
it's longer.
Hit a couple 210. Yeah.
7-iron, 210.
I mean, how far is your 4?
I don't know. I didn't hit any of those. My hands were bleeding too much.
You have
Speaking of
they're taped
Band-Aids,
up.
I literally destroyed my hands today.
Oh, sweet. I gotta get
Yeah, I have to figure out how to not grip it so tightly with my pinky. I mean, it's a totally new thing, but
That's all right.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that you're healthy and you feel all right.
I'm feeling great.
but I think that's the other big thing too in like fittings is like the preconceived notion of, well, I think I like this head better, instead of it's just hit this club, give it back to him. Don't look at what the shafts are. Don't look at what the heads
I didn't
are.
have my wedding ring
Or
on.
else
You gotta
you
have
get
that
into your
on.
brain.
I
You're
can't
like,
play with it.
well, I need this shaft. I need this head already, and it's preconceived. And you just go swing it 2 or 3 times, give it back.
Right.
Swing it 2 or 3 times, give it back. What was the best numbers? Completely take out what head style it was, what shaft it was, and then they go, all right, here you go. Here's the most optimum one.
I don't know how people play with. I had to go get my wedding ring. It was in my bag because I just got done with the fitting. I don't know how people play with rings on. I honestly don't know how people play with watches on.
I don't get that either.
You play with them on, right?
I play watch on and all my beads and
You
stuff.
got all your beads on and stuff.
Yeah.
Swifty stuff.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I honestly, I don't really know why. I just wear them because they're more interesting than not wearing.
Shower with them too. and everything?
No, take them off.
Take 'em off.
I don't like when the stuff gets wet. Same with my Whoop band. You're allowed to get it wet, but then it's just uncomfortable. So I take it off.
Yeah,
But then I get a
something
notification
I
that it's
can't
off.
like. The golf swing to me is so everything's all so connected. Your hands and the grip, and just like I can't have anything restrictive at all. It to me, I just can't do. I can't wear sunglasses.
Did you see the clip of the hockey fan who got hit? His hand got hit by a puck, and his finger got decapitated
Oh my god!
around his wedding ring because he was wearing the ring.
What?
I know.
It was like he got it stuck on a board on the boards or something, and his finger just popped off
I've
around the
heard
ring.
It's like Lord of the Rings,
horrific
like,
stories
oh,
about the
that's
ring.
Oh yeah, true.
Jimmy Fallon, there was a period where he was wearing a huge thing on his hand, and it was because he had allegedly fallen in his kitchen and got his finger caught on a drawer, and the ring like ripped all the skin off. Rings are dangerous. That's why a lot of guys wear the silicone kind
know.
of rubber ones.
I know.
Yikes.
I think I'm gonna switch to that because I've heard way too many. Like my finger's starting to hurt now that you talk about it, just like mentally.
It scares
Because
me.
mine's tight. Like I could barely get it on and off.
Is that the salt?
It's a salt, yeah.
Too much salt? Your fingers start to swell?
Yeah. In the mornings they come right off. It's bizarre. Cherry, what have you been up to?
None. I'm just thinking about the ring situation.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's nasty work.
No.
How's life, Jerry?
Great. Couldn't be better. I mean, I feel what Rick said after today. This guy's talking about me breaking 90. I didn't even break 100.
I know.
Just you went straight to breaking 90. He
Yeah.
was like, screw breaking 100. We're going
Yeah, and
Jerry
it just-
breaking 90.
I thought my
Like, that's-
swing. I thought he was gonna fix my swing. He's like, no, it's not your swing. It's like your setup, your grip, the degrees on the club. I'm like, this is crazy,
It's a whole new world for you.
dude. Yeah, and then my first time ever. So I just played stock, whatever. For 2-3 years that I've been playing.
Jerry,
so
you got a bag with legs today.
I did.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
They brought you a bag with legs?
Yeah. So Dick's gave me. I told the guy at Dick's. I said, I want a bag. I wanted the bag to be all black, and I want it to look cool, and I want a bunch of slots on it for each club. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they gave me this bag that stood up with 1,000,000 slots. I mean,
Well, that's what you said, though, right?
yeah,
You said black bag.
yeah, but it looked
Had
great.
a bunch of slots.
But I
That's
had-
cool.
I had-
It's like an offensive number of slots.
Yeah, there was I think 16 or 17 slots in the bag. So there was always like 6 of them that were empty. And then Taylormade, nice people that they are, came out all leather black bag with
the
legs on
legs.
it.
How many slots though?
3, but I like that better.
Oh, you want fewer slots?
Yeah, I like it better because all the clubs line up perfectly.
Oh, that's big.
So this is, I
Okay.
don't know. I'm a
And now you got
little
them
OCD
ordered,
like
right? You
that.
got drivers up top. You got middle irons. You got your
That's
wedges.
the part I didn't understand either.
Put your putter up
Was
top.
I would always put my drivers in woods in the back and my wedges in the front, but it's opposite.
I'm enjoying that you're kind of like in a great way bringing to light a lot of the little stuff that people that are new into the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That like when others like the snobby douchey golf folks look like myself look at your bag and be like, what a fucking
So
who is this
when
poor
you have
person
your
who's
bag-
doing that? And then you came in
When
today
you have
and
your
you're
bag
like,
on a
how am I
golf-
supposed to arrange these things?
Yeah.
And we did a whole thing. It was great.
Yeah, it's great.
when you have a bag on a golf cart, you had the driver, like when you go to reach your, you had your driver basically in the front and
Dumb
your
out with the
irons
wedges.
behind. So that's kind of why you want to set up your bag
Yeah.
the other way around, where the drivers are in the back. You know what
No,
I'm
you're
saying?
wrong, Frank.
What do you mean?
No. The way you had it was like all your clubs are uniform.
Yeah.
And where you want is more like a waterfall, so that when they land and let's say you're walking around with your bag, they don't
Now
clink
I'm-
all
now I'm
together.
Like you want
Confused.
your
Hold on, take it
wedges to be like the first thing, like
That's
on
no,
the edge.
you're
No,
wrong.
I think when you put it on the cart, I think
No, hold
I
on.
think it's actually impractical, but that's what everyone does. Where the drivers and woods and maybe putter.
Oh,
would actually
I'm
be-
wrong.
Yeah.
No, I'm wrong.
But
You're
I
thinking about
see.
it's opposite.
I'm thinking about when we had it on the not on the cart.
Correct.
Got it,
Yeah,
got it,
but
got it.
logically, I think that you're saying, like what you guys are saying, it's crazy that we don't do it that way. Because
Yeah.
you'd be able to see your clubs in order of tallness.
That's what I
Yeah,
say.
You
so
should
then-
reverse it.
So what we're saying is, where you put your drivers in fairway woods, back where like the top part of the bag would be if it had the handle to it. And you're
Right.
putting your wedges down by where the legs of the bag kick out at.
Because what we do now is you almost have to sift through your taller clubs to get, you know what I'm saying?
You do.
We all do that move where you like move one of them out
Yeah.
of the way to get to the
Yeah.
shorter ones, which
Yeah.
is kind of ass backwards.
Yeah, I never had to do that, but now I'm gonna have to. Now I do.
You know what's amazing
It's a great
is
point.
if you ever present your golf bag to a caddy or some kid at the end of a round who's like wants to, wash off the clubs or something like that, if your clubs are not perfectly arranged, they cannot help themselves but to rearrange them
Yeah.
into the right
Yeah, it's
spots.
like an OCD thing.
It's like the world is not gonna continue to spin the right way until they reset them
Right.
the right way.
I'm quite OCD.
Wedges
I
go
do that
down
too.
by the kickstand.
yeah.
That's the way to think.
That's
of it.
right. That's right.
Where
Yes.
does the putter go?
I think the putter goes on the outside of the driver. Like it's like I like lean it off the driver hole.
Yeah, I've got the driver holes with my putter as well. I was thinking about it. I guess I include that slot is in general just the head cover slot.
Head covered slot. I think that's right for me too.
That's your
I got a
driver
question.
3-wood hybrid putter.
I'm confused now. That threw me off.
It's almost like the English language.
When
Like
it's
it
in
doesn't really make a lot of sense.
when it's in the cart, when it's in the cart, you want it to be your driver's in the front, your wood's in the front.
Not that you want it to be, but for whatever reason, we've accepted that that's how
Okay,
everyone does
but
it.
now they're saying when you kick out your legs, you want the wedges in the front.
No, we're saying
right.
if you're
This is
looking
right.
at it, right, that would be strapped in. So to describe it to all the folks listening,
Oh, okay, got it.
if it was strapped in right now, where the legs come out on the bag,
Got
it
it.
would be sitting up like that.
Yes,
The
exactly.
strap on the cart would go through the
this back
handle,
loop.
and the handle is close to what
Got it
we're
now.
calling the driver's slot.
Yeah, we should really flip that around.
Yeah,
In reality, we should be swapping that.
I feel like I was
Yeah.
doing it right.
Wedges should go by the handle because when
Yes.
it's on the golf cart,
Right.
all the clubs that you need access to more often than the driver, the 5-wood, the 3-wood, the 7-wood that I just got today. It's crazy that we're constantly doing this.
Yeah,
when
but
it's
here's
on
the
the-
reason why, though, because this is a carry bag. So when you carry, you don't want to have your drivers hanging out on the bottom end.
And that's right.
And then you look like a little kid carrying your clubs down the fairway where the weight of the bag is all
Yes, it
low
is.
and you
Is-
fall out.
Let me.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
they would fall
You know,
out.
I know I
as they
don't do a whole
often
bunch
do.
of carry
That's the
golf
problem I
rounds,
had.
Francis, but
I had the
that's the
cart
reason
bag.
why.
all right.
You
All right,
have
we're
the
back to
cut-
logic.
That's the reason
Yeah.
why.
Okay, gang.
That's right.
Good stuff.
Right? We got bags with stands because they're carry bags.
Frankie's
not
is
cart
set up,
bags.
Jer, right now perfectly.
Got it.
Just
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
cool the way it sits. If you're walking, carrying, it's not going to fall out. That's
Pro
that's
move
what
is
you
to
want.
sometimes put a towel, like almost like I would sometimes put the putter on the outside of the towel, so the towel separates the putter from the drivers.
And
So
the
it's almost
towel-
like you make its own
You
slot.
get yourself like a cool towel too that like drapes that you
Yeah.
kind of drape through your clubs. That's sort of a pro look. And then another move is right when you get into a golf cart. If you get let's say a tenth of your towel, one side of it wet, then you clean your clubs every time after you.
I'm
hit a
bad
shot.
at cleaning my clubs. I'm really bad.
Good. I think I made a mistake though. The guy was telling me, I got a scratcher. What do you call it? I don't even know what you call
Oh
it.
yeah.
Groove brush.
But I hit it too much.
Brush.
I
Oh,
told
you're
you
ruining
that.
your clubs.
I
I told
did-
you that.
It's like a toothbrush. You got to be gentle.
Yeah.
You can't just.
Yeah.
When we
I go
played with
aggressive,
Gruden,
dude.
when
I
we
get
played
like-
with Gruden, this guy was shaving new grooves. Dude, like the metal was
adding-
coming.
little
like,
shavings were
little
coming off?
shavings were coming off.
I didn't
What'd
copper
you do?
shavings?
He's like, I got a new groover, Frank.
Yeah. I don't know. It looked
Ruining
better.
the
yeah,
specs of the golf
Don't
club.
do that. Don't do that. So I'm gonna throw that tool out.
So wait for what I learned today. This was nuts. So through the fitting, couple changes, we finally get down to my wedges. And he's like, all right, talk me through your wedges. I'm like, I got 3 wedges now. Here's what I've been using. I got the MG4s. I got a 60 degree, a 54 degree, and a 46 degree, which kind of acts as my pitching wedge. Okay, hit a couple. So I hit a few with my 60 degree, and the ball comes out. It goes about the yardage we want, but it comes out high. Hit 3 or 4, and he's like, hey, your ball's coming out high, but it's kind of going, looking good. Let me change something. He hands me another wedge, same, whatever. I hit it. It goes same distance, but comes out lower with spin, like kind of like the right trajectory. And he, after I hit 3 or 4, they come out much nicer. But when I'm like, yeah, that feels good. What'd you change? He goes, nothing. They're just new grooves. I said, now wait a second. I go, you're telling me a wedge with new grooves comes out lower? And he said, yeah. And the reason that happens is if you look at a wedge, as your grooves get older and older, they don't grab. However, the grooves that do grab are the ones on the high part of the face because they don't really ever get used. So what happens is your ball rides up to the top half of your club, then starts to catch the grooves. So it comes out much higher, but doesn't lose much distance, but won't really spin on the green like you want it to.
Yeah.
And I said, now, no way. He said, that only thing I changed was I got a new wedge for you that is just fresh grooves. Wow. And that made it come out lower.
And that's probably the area of people's games too that they need to look at buying wedges more often, because you hit shots all the time from around greens and full swing shots. Like, go out and change your wedges. If you're an active player, like Riggs, I'd say you go out and change your wedges at least one time a year.
Yeah, he was saying it's been a year and a half since we've sent you new wedges, and he's like, that makes sense that yours. He's like, are your wedges cramped? So then he was like, I want you to hit over towards this actual green, which they have that sick green at the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And he's like, that pin out there, 76 yards or whatever. So I was hitting almost like a 80%, 90%, 60 degree right at it. And I hit the first one. He goes, now watch this. This might go in. Landed like 8 feet behind it, spun back, and almost went in the hole. And he's like, when's the last time you saw one of your wedges actually do that? I said, never. I was like, it lands, takes a hop, and then might check or something, but it doesn't like spin back. He was like, yep. And it was wild watching that. And he's saying that's like the reason that the tour pros get new wedges, not just so they can necessarily do really cool spin shots. He's like, it flies properly when you have good grooves. And then, dude, the best part was I hit 3 or 4 with the new one, and the grooves got full of dirt. And then we saw one came out high. Yeah. And he goes, look at your grooves. And I looked, and the brand new wedge had dirt full of groove. And he's like,
Instant
that's the only
validation.
difference. I was like, holy shit.
And if that's happening at 80 yards, though, think about your game now green side and you trying to stop golf balls more with wedges that were ground down already and not being able to keep a golf ball from stopping fast. Right. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's also wild to think about how many times, what percentage of your shots in a total round of golf are actually hit with pretty much 2 clubs. Like, for me, it's like a 60-degree wedge and a putter. It's like almost half the shots I hit the whole round are hit with that club, those 2 clubs, or 54 degrees, so maybe 3 clubs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then if you factor in the driver, it's like 70 to 80% of the shots that you hit are with 3 clubs the whole day. That's crazy. That's
someone said to me that they try and get the ball in the hole like 70 times around, like, so not including the driver. Like, there's so many swings that you like think the ball is like possibly going to get in the hole. Like, even with a 7-iron, you're like, I want to get this ball in the hole. Like, your thought is, I want to put this ball in the hole.
Yeah, like my objective here is to get this in that hole.
They must have a whole bunch of letdowns when they just don't pull it out from 150 yards.
Still
or
least
200
satisfied
yards.
golfer.
Yeah, it didn't go in this time. Yeah.
It was funny. Brooks Koepka said that in an interview in the last year or so. He was like, think about how many shots even the best players in the world hit that don't go like exactly where they wanted them to go. He's like, almost all of them. He's like, really almost every shot. He's like, there's so many drives that we hit that end up in the fairway. They're good drives. But he's like, I wanted it to be left center with a little cut and ended up right center that was kind of a straight ball. And he's like, that's still a good drive. I get it, but it's not exactly what I was trying to do. Yeah. He's like, that happens almost every shot. He's like, I'm trying to hit a 7-iron cut 12 feet left of the pin, and I hit it 25 feet left of the pin with a little more cut than I wanted. But like, it still didn't do what I wanted it to do. And I'm one of the best players on the planet.
Yeah.
It was like crazy hearing him say that. Like, you don't hit the shot you're trying to hit almost all of the time.
But what a good mental thought of just being engaged and active and having intent of what I want to try and do, whether or not, regardless of what the actual outcome is of did it do or not.
I got no plan.
Instead of like we're just gonna hit this thing up there, it'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Like, here's my intent of what I want to do. I've made a decisive action. Now go make a decisive swing.
One of my favorite. What are you smirking at?
I'm having a problem with this.
You keep spinning.
You keep fiddling it.
You're a fidget spinner.
That's
one
okay.
of,
We're
one of
all
my
guilty of
favorite
that, by the way.
facts is that like when a club, and we've said this before, but when a club gets like when it's about to like snap or break, it's like it gets actually hotter, like a 3-wood or 5-wood, and it becomes like non-conforming. You ever heard that?
No.
Like an old 3-wood, like for a pro, like they actually have to like retire that club because it becomes non-conforming because it's so hot. It'll go the furthest ever right before it cracks.
Oh, wow. Crazy fact. This is what happened with Rory's driver when there was that miscommunication when he said I'm not allowed to use my driver that I was hitting it so well.
Oh.
It was the Stealth 2, and everyone took that as Taylormade's requiring him to use the new driver. And what he was actually trying to say in that interview that he didn't clarify was they tested my Stealth 2 that I'd been using for like a year, and the face got so hot that it was non-conforming. Wow. Isn't that crazy?
There is a lot of misconceptions and miscommunications out there. That can actually segue us into the TGL was last night. Mm-hmm. I'm sure, I don't know if a lot of people watched it. We've been traveling. We've kind of been moving around. But did you see Billy Horschel got in a little bit of a tizzy today? Because I guess I didn't see his interview afterwards, but he had said that the producer told us to keep it close. He named the producer by name.
I heard this in real time too. And
Yeah.
I thought he got misrepresented what he was trying to say.
So today so basically he was saying it was 4-0, and and Trent's trying to get into this room. They're just not letting him in.
The start of a new year is the perfect time to get organized, set goals, and prioritize what matters most. For me, a top priority is my financial wellness, which feels more important now than ever. Thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable. They show me all my subscriptions right in one place and help me easily cancel ones that I forgot I've been paying for. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and it helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money is huge for us.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this app. I'm on this app at least a couple of times a week, just kind of checking on my financials. I feel like before I had Rocket Money, I didn't fully know what was going on, all of what I'm spending money on, how much am I spending money on this. Rocket Money, you go on there, it's a financial tool. You check it really fast, just see everything's in order. Bang, you're done. You can feel better about it. You can just have a way better financial year if you download Rocket Money. I promise you that. It does all the subscription things. It'll cancel those things. That's a great part of it. But the financial tool part of it, I can't underestimate. You can't underestimate how important that is. So download the app and figure it out.
We talk about getting fitted in this in this podcast for golf. It's like getting your financials fitted. Like you're trusting a professional app to really tell you like the things that you're not realizing about your life and your financials and how to move forward and how maybe something that you need, maybe something that you don't need. It's very interesting and it's very, very, very productive for you and your family and your financials.
Rocket Money automatically scans your bills to find opportunities to save. Then you can ask them to negotiate for you. So they'll deal with customer service so you do not have to. Rocket Money has over 5 million users, has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/4 today. That is rocketmoney.com/4, rocketmoney.com/FORE.
Oh, our new drivers
New
are
drivers.
here.
They built them today on site. Right.
Oh my God, they got little tags on them.
I got gifts.
Santa Claus.
Happy
Santa,
wow.
Santa,
Oh
Santa.
my God. That's me.
Francis,
He's got the orange shaft.
Great shaft.
That one's me.
Cody,
That one's me.
Love that.
Jerry,
Come
Amanda,
to Papa.
Frankie
Wow.
That's
First time in
awesome.
4 or 5 years I don't have a red shaft.
This is awesome. Trent Claus.
Thanks, Trent.
Brown. No problem.
That's really nice of you, man.
And think, like, me, Francis, and Jerry watched them build this literally behind this, where we're doing
Dude,
this
we're
podcast.
filming
today.
all day tomorrow at Goat Hill Park, and you guys are gonna have everyone's gonna have
Brand
their
new
brand
grips.
new driver ready to go.
New
Brand new
drivers ready
grip
to
is
go.
a
That
good
is
feeling.
Awesome.
I'm gonna put this in the bed with me tonight. Just
Yeah,
nurture it, right?
of course.
How's it going?
Good.
It's the new
How'd that
baby.
go out there? Because we were just about to get into TGL, but you just got in off of your fitting.
Yeah, I just got fit for P790s with Adrian.
Did you stick with them?
I'm in them.
No way.
P790s, I'm in them. Wow! He said,
He's
love
in.
that.
there was a moment I almost teared up when he said it. He said, "You're a golfer now. Let's get you in these things."
Yeah.
He did. He looked at me. He watched my swing, and he goes, "You're a golfer." And I know we're all golfers.
That's
We know,
awesome.
But when you hear from Adrian, it's a little different.
That's a different.
He goes, "You're consistent. Your swing path is great. You don't need to be hitting the game improvement irons." Which, if you're using game improvement irons, they're great. They got me to break 100. They got me to break 90. They got me an 87. But now he's like, "We got to keep this thing going."
That's like your dad saying to you, like, you're a man now.
Right.
Yeah.
He did. I don't even
I'm
think
proud
he
of you,
realized
right?
what he was saying, but he was just like behind his TrackMan, and he was like, "Yeah, you're a golfer," and like we were just doing it.
And you got those new frames on too.
Oh yeah, I got new golf. I got new.
Has anyone noticed this guy just changed his glasses frames?
I mean, his facial hair looks incredibly dialed in right now.
What's going on right now?
There's just a sharpness to Trent that I haven't
It
seen.
might be
Yeah.
the
Him
sweater,
changing
dude.
his frames is world news.
I haven't
Those
changed.
were
Iowa.
iconic Trent frames. Like think about the Millmore cartoons. Like the little wiry frames were Trent.
Yeah, I haven't changed my frames in a very, very long time.
8 years, 9 years,
So
10.
I mean, I saw him today. I'm intimidated.
Ooh, I mean, when was the last time I changed them? If we're being honest, last time I changed them was when I got arrested, I broke my glasses when I was drunk.
So
And
12 years ago.
yeah, whenever that was. Yeah, probably 10 years ago.
All right. Wow.
So yeah, I got new frames then, and now I got new frames. I got a couple new frames, so maybe I'll break out different ones at different times.
That
Oh,
boy
they're
Fra-
different
that,
than that one?
I've got 2 different frames. I got this one and a different one.
that boy Francis be yawning.
So sorry, everybody.
No, you're a tired boy.
I'm battling a little bit of like I've been traveling for
He's
a
tired,
week and a
dude.
half, and I'm beat, but I'm okay.
No. I'm just. These are tiring days. It just goes to show, like, these fittings are no joke.
You're swinging
and how about this?
Pounding
Like,
golf balls.
we're talking about fittings. Did you get fit for those new glasses?
Oh,
Of course you
Yeah,
did.
of course I did.
Of course you did, right?
I had
Like,
to go back
you
in and to
fit
make
things-
sure they fit.
Yeah.
It's an important part. Getting fit in all facets of life is important. If these glasses didn't fit right, they would hurt, and I wouldn't be able to see.
they'd be slowing
The eye
down.
doctor said you're negative this or positive this, right? And you go
have
fit
to-
for them?
You have to get
Go get
things
fitting.
customized like that.
I'll tell you, when I started skating and playing hockey, I had to get fit for a mouth guard. I had a mouth guard in that I just couldn't even speak to people because it was just generic. I did the boil it thing. Next thing you know, I don't even notice it in there. I walk around with it afterwards.
Did you ever do the dentist molded mouth guard?
Yeah, so my father, Dr. Steve, was a dentist for a long time, retired a couple years ago. I would go in. It feels like they're drowning you in the mold. You can, they like stuff the whole, but that one, and then they give you a couple of them,
Yeah.
that one comes out like legit. There were times after practice, I would leave it in, I would forget and have it in for days.
It's comforting. It's comforting.
It's nice.
Comparing the dentist molded mouth guard to the boil it in a pot of water and bite down, burn your fucking face off.
That was me last week. Almost
Yeah.
burnt down the apartment. It was a whole scene.
It was a complete game changer. It was completely game changer.
Then I was worried I was going to burn my hands because I didn't know how to get rid of the water without
Mm-hmm.
it like spraying upon me, which is dangerous.
I need
we
to
got
get
6
my.
microphones. We can do that.
I think so. Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Shout out to
Somehow,
Alex
somewhere.
Bush, man.
This is like the
I gotta
Octo
get
box.
Shout
my
out to Jake
in-ear
Massey, who would've shut
monitors
this
for
down.
like playing music. I gotta get those professionally fitted. That's something that I really struggle with. We get the ones from like CVS. They're $25 and they pop out of my ear. They're not even protecting my ears from this noise around. I've heard getting those fitted, and you go to the ear, nose, throat doctor, and they'll put some goo in there, and it'll mold around your whole entire ear.
Wow.
Yeah. I gotta get those
Why don't you just
bad.
get over the ear ones?
It's more of like an aesthetic look. You don't want to be like wearing
Yeah,
like
true.
headphones at a concert trying to
Disconnected,
play,
you look
try and play
disconnected.
cool.
I hit a parlay and I bought a gold grill
Oh.
from Johnny Dang. He does all the rappers. They sent me a mold to do it, and I bit down in it, sent it back. They sent me the grill, all to my teeth, all gold grill, and not permanent, obviously, but they fit perfect.
Do you remember what the parlay was?
Lakers money line, Creighton money line.
Oh, Kobe.
Yeah, and I hit it on a Kobe Bryant free throw.
R.I.P. Kobe, the 26, right? It's
Yeah, I'll
coming
never
up.
forget that.
Crazy. We were talking about that the year Kobe died. This tournament that's going on right now at Torrey Pines was going on, and we talked to Keegan when we played with him. People see in the video, but he gave like a very heartfelt and very real like recount of what it was like playing during that round. It's like you could hear, like you could sense a murmur among the crowd. We didn't really know, and then somebody in the crowd said like, "Oh yeah, Kobe Bryant passed away," and he's like, we were all like, "Is that real?" So that just reminded me of that. That was going on this part of the country. Crazy.
Wow.
Absolutely
I
crazy.
just watched a weird, quick documentary about this. Like, I think it was a Phillies game when Osama bin Laden was killed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
60
And
for 60
the-
did it. It's awesome.
I'm sorry.
60 for 60. I think ESPN did it.
30 for 30.
30, yeah.
Just cut that in half.
I make everything bigger.
No,
60, 60, 30, 30.
there is
Double
like
it.
an
Yeah.
ESPN 60, which is a different show, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
E60.
Yeah, E60. But I get what you mean. I almost said when Osama bin Laden passed away, which felt
You can
like
go
the
stronger
wrong way
than
to say it.
You can go stronger than that on him.
You
Yeah.
can be pretty. Yeah.
When he went to the ever beyond.
Was it with you guys where we were talking about the difference between the way that Obama articulated it when he killed Osama, and the difference between how Trump articulated it when he killed the owl. What was the guy's name?
Bakar al-Baghdadi.
Yeah.
And he was like, he died like a dog.
Shane Gillis does such a
Shane-
good bit
yeah,
of
it's a very
Shane's
fun
So good, man.
We've done an operation to kill Osama, and we got him. He's dead.
Yeah.
He was begging for his life.
Yeah.
Do you think Scotty's thrilled with that picture?
I wondered about that too.
The mouth, maybe not.
Just something I've been thinking about.
We were saying that it's amazing with the tight pants that it doesn't reveal more, and wondered if they had airbrushed anything.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Bulge.
Potentially true.
Right. Right. TGL. We were talking a little TGL a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's that much to get into it. I think they are making good strides to make it a little bit feel more like a real league. I think they've done a great job with the audio mixing. I know that's like such a nitpicking, weird thing to say, but week 1, all you heard was the music. It was a joke. You didn't feel like the shots mattered. It was a blowout. It all kind of culminated to you really not thinking this thing was going to be sustainable. Week 2, you had Tiger Woods, another blowout, but a little bit more competitive in the sense that people wanted to hit the shots. That first hole was intense, and then it was just a runaway train from there. Week 3, there was no hammer that was being used, so the team the hammer situation is a very unique one, but like when a team has one and they have the lead, they can just hold on to the hammer, so the other team never has a chance to gain that advantage. It doesn't seem like that's sustainable either, because like the team with the hammer just ends up having all the benefit of just holding on to it for the rest of the 15 holes, and then it's over. They never really get to. It's hard to gain. The reason the hammer's in there is because it really is hard to gain a lead once you've lost it, because there's not that many holes, and the format is weird. It's alternate shots, so it's difficult. And
and you control it. So it's like it's almost. This will be in a video, but someone that we filmed a video with that we already mentioned had the idea of like the hammer should automatically go to the other team after if you hold it for 3 holes, or something like that, because it just gives too much power to whoever has it, and then. The reason, and I never even thought about this, but the first 2 turned into such blowouts is because you're desperately trying to hammer everyone. Yeah. But then you're doing it when you're less likely to win the hole. So then you're just giving up 2 points multiple times. Right. And you just get dusted. But the Billy Horschel thing that Frankie was talking about earlier, Billy Horschel's quote that's got people, on the controversy path. He said, obviously the last 2 weeks have been blowout, and this one isn't. Jeff, the producer, has asked us nicely to keep it close, and we're trying to accommodate him. Is what he said. Now everybody took that as like they're rigging it to make sure it's close so that ratings are better. What I think Billy Horschel meant in that was like clearly the producer made the joke of like we're getting killed with the drama of all of this because it's not close. You guys can keep it close in like a tongue-in-cheek kind of way. And then Billy was in the interview being like, oh, yeah, this one's closer. Being like, oh, yeah, the producer said that. So clearly we're trying to accommodate him. That's kind of the way I took it, what Billy was saying.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
You have to think that's what he meant.
But when there's gambling involved.
Gambling's involved, so it's like, let's stop talking
about
like what producers are saying. Like that clearly, and we know Billy, we love Billy. That's a misstep. Can't say in a brand new league with a lot of, every single hole, every single shot, there's odds being thrown out on the screen. We don't need to have a team that's like -1.5 trying to keep it close. That's just the integrity of the game is starting a little.
That also comes off differently in print, I would imagine, than the
100%. We know how Billy is, and the way if you watch it and you hear it, it's completely different than reading it in a headline. But you don't want to hear the kicker of a football game being like, they told me to keep it close. Like, brother. Let's try and get that through the uprights because you got a lot of stuff going on around here. A lot of stuff going on. I think it will. It's still going. It's still moving along. The ratings are good. I'll be interested to see what the ratings were this week. But next week, they gotten through 3 weeks, 2 blowouts, and then one was okay last week. Justin Thomas's putter was on fire. That was fun to see. Patrick Cantlay actually wasn't as boring as I thought he'd be. I think his team definitely helped him out. He had a pretty fun team that made him interesting. And now next week we've got Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy going against each other. So ratings will be good with that. So you're talking 4 weeks, a month's worth of TGL. Yeah. They're in the news. Tuesday nights, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. I think it's going pretty smoothly.
I might be a sicko, but like as we were driving back in the car yesterday, like I was pulling it up on my phone. We had missed the first hour. Yeah. Like I wanted to watch it.
And dude, New York is 0-2 and like they're in shambles. Like Matt Fitzpatrick's team has not won a game yet. So like at this point, it is like it's starting to form like a league. Like they're 0-2. They need to figure something out. You don't want to go 0-3.
They're also getting drummed and being like the least like interesting on the side. So like standing on the edge of the green. They're losing 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And they've got JT. Billy's doing like his dirty bird.
Yeah.
And they're down $1 million. And it was, you could actually see they were kind of pissed off.
Definitely.
Which they should be.
And Matt Fitzpatrick had a ball in the bunker, a fairway bunker, hits it, turns to the crowd. It goes in the water. He looks around. He's like, impossible. Like
I still want these guys to talk a little bit more smack against one another and just make it
Yeah.
a me versus you type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, like
Only if it's real.
golfers are just too nice of guys, right? Like, we just don't have that typically in our sport unless it's Ryder Cup or President's Cup where the stakes are 1,000,000 times higher.
That'll be fabricated if they try and include that.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Only
Unless
if
there's
it
like
comes
real
from
digs.
a real place.
Like if Rory and Tiger give some like real digs that you're like, whoa, there's some
That'd be
animosity
great.
in there. Like, and then that becomes headlines. And it's hard to say like we need like anger and people to start hating each other for it to be entertaining, but it's just got to happen naturally. And I do
Producer
think
Jeff told him to be
producer
meaner to
Jeff
each
said
other.
to start being mean. Did you guys see what Justin Thomas sent out to all the players?
I was just reading through to, I was just reading through it.
I mean, I could read
It's a
this
nice
for anyone
segue.
that. I mean, it's a long thing, but I think it's really interesting.
It is interesting.
And I've gotten mistaken to be Justin Thomas from time, so I could read. I could do
Especially
a
this
little
a
part
little
of the
spark notes
country.
on that? A little quick read?
Essentially, what he's saying, and we don't have to go through the whole thing. Justin Thomas put out a statement, sent it out to like the players'
Send it to the membership.
membership. So everyone
6
that's
paragraphs long. It'd be a hell of a
I'm
read.
not going to read the whole
We
thing.
can get dramatic music. Can you get dramatic
No,
music?
don't read it. That's long.
No, it's too much. It's too much. The Spark Notes version is we need to be more entertaining, and he is very honest in it. He's saying that if we want this sport to succeed, we have a lot of money and we have a lot of partners and we have a lot of broadcasting partners that put a lot of faith into us as a membership to be entertaining. Now, that doesn't have to come unnaturally, but we have to open up our minds to certain opportunities that we may be used to saying no to. So like mid-round interviews or someone coming up to us right after our round has finished, or pre-round interviews, or doing certain things for the broadcast maybe before the rounds start or the week starts, and really adding value to he's basically looking at it, sitting around, he's like, he writes a couple things where he says, I follow these other sports. I watch football. I watch college football. And Netflix or whatever, they put these shows out and I get invested in these teams that I don't even care about because I see their stories. I see their personalities. We need that for golf. Yes, Netflix has a great show called Full Swing. I think that's done amazing things for Joel Damon and Justin Thomas and all
Joel
these
Damon's
guys.
like a certified
He's a
American
star.
superstar now.
Yeah, because of that. And I
Barely
think
kept
Justin
his car.
Thomas is figuring out like we can't, and he writes, I would be the first person to say no to a mid-round interview when we're playing for millions of dollars. But I think that's why we're out here. And he says, I just did it last week. I tried it out. And to be honest, it wasn't that bad. Like he's saying that
Remember
to
when
his...
we did the Corn Ferry?
Yeah.
All those guys
Yeah.
were willing to talk to us and
Yeah.
saw the value of it, and I would have thought no one would have wanted to talk to us,
Yeah.
and they didn't seem to have any problem with it at all. And those guys are one eyelash below the PGA Tour.
Sometimes playing for more
Yeah.
in their own world.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Big
Yeah.
time.
You know?
He says, JT says, our fan forward research shows that on-course personality is the highest ranked driver of interest for young fans aged 18 to 34. And so they're clearly seeing that, like, them. And to be honest with you, it's like the reason that certain players have really jumped into our world. Like,
Yeah.
his is a great example. And we said, like, when he got the NBC gig, we were like, we're not tooting our own horn, not at all. However, there's an element of like him jumping into our world that helped him get that job. Of people saw his personality because it doesn't typically come out, especially not during a golf broadcast.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, I try to play boring golf that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hit a fairway with a 260 yard, toe draw, and then I'm trying to hit a wedge close and make some birdies and have no emotion so that I can play my best golf, whatever. And when you really do see the personality, then all of a sudden, when you've got a leaderboard of Russell Henley and these names that are all kind of boring, the same country club, like pretty much white dudes on a leaderboard, and all of a sudden Kevin Kisner pops up and you listen to this show or you saw him somewhere else on a cool video, you're like, that's my fucking guy.
Yeah.
And now you have a reason.
Without that, he would have been just another boring white guy on a leaderboard.
100%. And he
But
knows
that name sticks out.
That's what
because,
he's saying, yeah.
that's what I'm
That's
saying.
exactly right. And I remember during the 2015 playoff at the Players Championship, it was Sergio, Kiz, and Ricky ended up winning that. And I remember very hard like rooting against Kiz at the time because I thought he was just literally this country club white dweeb like everyone else mostly. And I knew Ricky was interesting and Sergio was interesting. And I was rooting for that. Now it's funny going back that the reversal of those rankings for me couldn't be like different. And I like Ricky, but I do think he's relatively boring. Like, he wears the orange hats and stuff, but he's not like this incredibly funny. He's really made a ton of money on the marketing, and they kind of shield him and seems like a nice guy, whatever. Sergio's obviously kind of Sergio, and he's not American, so we root against him. And Kiz is the fucking man. So it's like interesting that that's totally flipped. And I think that's kind of JT's point. And I was also going to say, with him saying that, maybe he'll do a 4-man scramble.
Well, I actually think of it the other way. I think he sees this YouTube world and how much we're able to showcase these guys' personalities, and I think he's thinking from a longevity standpoint of his partners and the broadcasting rights, that he's thinking like, why are we willing to do this basically for free to YouTube when like we have partners paying us a ton of money to do be that same person during their window.
Yep.
So that's me being like very blunt and like honest. Like I don't want that to be the case, because I want them to always showcase their talents and their personality on our channels. But like, I think he's saying like, fuck that. Like, we need to do it Thursday through Sunday, maybe also not instead, but like two, like, you know, like
I agree.
Like, why are we only doing this on Mondays at media day with Bob Does Sports and fore-play? We need to do this on Saturdays when like the American Express is paying this for this tournament, and CBS and all these rights and all this stuff. Like, this is why they're paying for it.
It's a very good point. And it's like, we've kind of had this conversation before, but if the PGA Tour and the players had been very, very good at what JT's describing in this all along, we wouldn't exist and have had success.
Never.
Right? We were able to like kind of like barge through and create this hole because they were bad at this.
Right.
Tour and all that were really bad at
You
this.
could only see golf shots for
right
80 years of PGA Tour.
And it's like, my old man talks about it a lot because he used to be a huge tennis fan. And he's like, tennis to me is so boring now because you really don't have the characters. He's like, we used to have incredible characters.
Yeah.
Where fucking McEnroe was like throwing his racket at the umpire and like threatening people in the crowd. And he's like, it was fucking awesome. You had to tune in every time because they had wild characters. And with golf, he says now everybody always kind of claims that like our day was better than our day. Maybe that's true to a degree. But the Lee Trevinos and the Arnies and like the personality that they had and they showed, it was incredible. And it was like Tiger's personality on the golf course. We always laugh about him off the golf course, and you know, he's Tiger. And we're going to have libations after I win and the whole thing. But on the golf course, he's the most electric person to watch of all time. And there's so many guys that are just boring as fuck to watch.
Yeah, I think as the money got bigger, everybody got a little bit more sanitized. Because you're just like, I'm going to focus. I don't want to, you don't get the, you know, the Lee Trevinos or whatever, the characters. So if some guys are willing to, you know, put a mic in front of them and have a mic on them mid-round, and you know, not all of them are going to be winners, but you're going to find a couple Kevin Kisners.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's what they're looking for. And Justin Thomas is obviously like a leader of the PGA Tour, and a lot of guys look up to him. So I think him making this statement, being very honest about like, I was the first guy to say no to a lot of this shit, him leading the charge, I think is actually going to have an effect.
It's funny to me that this conversation is almost literally the plot of Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
it's true.
You know, it's just like upstart, character-driven guy breaks through into this stuffy white sport and upsets the status quo, and fans start rallying around him. I don't know, dog. I mean, the ratings are up, you know.
I just got the phone with Dallas.
Kick
They're already sold out.
Yeah. But then he's what is it? The commissioner's like, we sold out, you know, the whole tour, and he's like, already, you know, it's really true. It really is true.
It is Happy Gilmore.
Back to your shanties.
Yeah.
God damn you people.
Who's gonna be the
golf.
shooter? Who's gonna be the shooter in this scenario? I wonder. But
Shooter's great.
Well, I mean, it's your boy,
who?
Zach Johnson.
That hurt what you just did there, but it's probably true.
He quite literally yelled at the crowd just like Shooter does.
That didn't go where I wanted it to go. It's true. I got no defense.
Yeah, he got real defensive on that one.
Listen,
Who said that? He basically said, go back to your shanty.
Nobody sir me, right? And there was
don't serve me.
To the good people of the Phoenix Army.
I mean, JT said you're out of here, buddy, but that's been completely, the guy who was an asshole to him was an asshole and deserved to be kicked out.
Yeah.
what else is going on? You know?
Yeah, right. I mean, shout out to JT, man. He had a little bit of a down year for his expectations, and now he's taken new strides. He's taken this New Year's resolution very seriously. He's a guy that he posts his goals he writes his goals in his iPhone app, and he posts them every single December, and he says, you know, I wish I had more green checks on here, and it's been like a couple of years of that. And I think he's very, very honest, and he's great for the tour, and I think that was a great message because it makes sense. And yeah, I mean, hopefully more opportunities for us open up for it, but we want a better product on the PGA Tour. It doesn't take anything away from us. If anything, it makes it better. If we have more stuff to talk about, more content coming out of Thursday through Sunday.
If the PGA Tour were as big as the NFL, we would be very rich people.
Yes.
We'd be very happy.
It would be awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be so we would never, Those babies, you keep cranking those babies out. They'd be
I got
fine.
babies coming.
College would be paid for. That'd be great. So we want the tour to be the biggest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Huge.
Golf is difficult, but getting your protein can be easy because One Bar has made protein bars perfected with 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers and 1 Hershey's Cookies and Cream, 18 grams of protein and only 3 grams of sugar. Only 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers protein bar is made with Reese's Peanut Butter. Only 1 Hershey's Cookies and Cream protein bar is made with Hershey's Cookie Bits. They've also got other delicious flavors like birthday cake, maple glazed donut, and blueberry cobbler. This segment is brought to you by new 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers protein bar, available on Amazon. Again, buy new 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers protein bar on Amazon. I'm going to transition quickly to a new segment from 1 protein bars.
Whoa.
And 1 Hershey's, 1 Cookies and Cream. They got other flavors in there too. I'm going to ask Beef a couple things. 1, do you have a hole-in-one?
I do have a hole-in-one, 1 career hole-in-one.
Come on.
Can you please?
175 yards.
Great story,
5
too.
iron. Yeah, really good story. So junior, senior Ryder Cup. So every single
You got
year.
this story yesterday, Jared?
I did. Great
Outside of the
story.
segment, you got this
Yes,
story.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah. So every single year at Fair State, the PGM kids.
Good hockey program, right? Fair
Really
State
good hockey
University.
program. Division 1. Bob Daniels just retired like 40 years being the hockey coach.
I saw that. I saw cool colors too. What are they, green and something?
No. Crimson and gold. Crimson and gold. We're the Bulldogs.
We
Green
kind
would
of
be pretty sick.
I would say one school is kind
Green,
of
that's the
real.
chefs that
Crimson.
that's the chefs that JJ wanted in his irons today. He was like,
We'll give it to you.
You think they can give us
Crimson, my
green iron chefs?
That'd be sick.
Like a fit off crimson, you guys? Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
But yeah. So junior senior Ryder Cup is the bell for the bucket. So what it is whoever the losing team is buys the keg that goes into the bucket so that you fill it up with ice and everything like that. 2-day event. First day you play 2-person, alternate shot and scramble. The next day is singles. So get a point in the alternate shot. Get a point in the half point in the scramble portion. Go to day 2. I'm up 3 with 5 holes to play.
Okay.
And the worst things happen. I bogey 15. I bogey 14. I bogey 15. I bogey 16. I'm just out here choking. Just choking this away.
Feel it sliding away.
I'm in match 11, so everybody else is pretty much all finished up already. There's now 12 guys from our team, 12 guys from their team, guys and girls, sorry. And everybody's just watching this match 11 on hole 17. And all we need is a half point. And I've just choked away
You're one down now.
a 3-hole lead. Now we're even. The guy I'm playing against, he hits his ball probably 15, 20 feet.
Jump.
And I was like, all right, well, I've already choked this whole thing away. Like, how are we going to do this? It's just the train's off the tracks and in the next county and pull out the 5 iron, 175 yards. Just go make a good swing, right? Just try to get it somewhere up on the green. I hit it. I go back to the cart. Don't even want to look at it because I just, you're just ready to get to the next shot at that point in time. Like, get me off the golf course. I've just lost this thing for us. And everybody just erupts. The place just goes crazy because all 22 guys now are watching this match of these 2 guys
And
girls, and everybody's
inclusive
like,
guys.
yeah,
Usually
guys and girls.
inclusive
Sorry.
guy, yeah.
And people are like, well, Beef just choked away 3-hole lead with 5 to play, and the juniors are going to win, and I'm just going to be the worst villain ever. And the thing goes in, and everybody goes crazy. Carts are going down the par 3. Everybody's going, I made it. And I didn't even get to see it going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it a hole that the hole was like hidden behind a hill, or you just
No.
didn't
So
look?
water on the right-hand side, a little bit of an elevated green, and it landed short, from what I'm told, right? It landed short and just rolled up and in there.
Ugh.
Craziest part of the story is I then I closed the golf shop in the afternoon. So our boss was,
You had to go work.
coolest enough that, this was at the university golf course. So shout out to Ian Zisk, PJ Pro. He was cool enough to let us go play in this thing for it. And then I closed the golf shop afterwards, and I showed up to the party with 24 pack of beer for all 24 guys. It was the
awesome.
easiest way to buy the check
Right,
or whatever.
right.
No way.
I just got to close the golf shop and show up with a 24 case of beer to a keg party.
Have you ever considered lying and saying it was like a 7-iron?
Nah, I mean,
All right.
it would be nice to be like, oh yeah, like Francis, right? How far did you hit your 7-iron day? 200 yards.
Well, the best one I hit went 210.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it'd be awesome. Like for the ego to be like, yeah, I had a P bucket, right? Like just pitching wedge up there, soft, but no 5-iron, whatever.
I love that.
175 these days. That's probably my sandwich.
Yeah. Probably like
Way I'm
58
hitting
or
it.
60.
Way I'm hitting it now.
After today,
To
at
the fitting?
Kingdom?
That's
a great
great.
story.
Good.
After the lesson and the fitting. 30 yards.
Do we have any
awesome.
hole-in-ones on foreplay?
So the next question was going to be, what does this group need to do to get a hole in one on camera? Because we need one badly.
It can't
We
be
need one.
play more rounds of golf.
I don't know, man.
It's been a point of contention. We've internally fought. We got to get some aces on camera.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. We do a lot of like alternate shot, so it's like there's not as many opportunities as you'd think.
Do we have any hole outs on
We
camera?
do a lot of 9-hole matches.
Yeah.
I got a few
Trent's
good
got
ones.
Trent's had a
hole
couple.
I got a hole out at Aaron
holed
Hills.
out at Aaron Hills on the first hole for par from like 95 yards.
And then the hole out at PJ Frisco.
I
here's
hold
what
out
I
at the
heard.
Olympic Club. Remember that? That
Yeah.
little yeah.
Phil said one time he's got something like 48 hole-in-ones, but he calls it based on like if you hole out from 120 yards,
Yeah.
that's essentially a par 3, right? Like
Yeah.
if you hole out from the fairway, you pretty much hit a hole-in-one.
Pretty
you know what
much,
I mean?
yeah.
So that's the way he classifies it for 48. So, I mean, yeah.
That doesn't fly
The
for me.
doesn't
closest
fly for me.
I
That's
have,
definitely not
the
hole
closest I've ever come was the good
Desert Open.
Desert Open on Peacock, and I was live on TV, and I came within 3 inches.
You hit right behind it and it checked up and we were like, holy shit.
Dude, in the air, looked like it was in, landed, crowd went crazy, went back, and literally almost went in. Like went past the whole end, came back.
What do you do if you get in a hole-in-one?
Especially on TV.
Do you go crazy?
Go
Oh,
crazy.
I would have
Jerry.
fucked the camera.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know how I would react.
We're going crazy and then straight to jail.
Yeah.
You got to go crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would go crazy though.
See, I had that thought recently too. I asked
Not
him.
that I'm a good golfer and I expect
No, you
it,
go
but-
crazy.
Almost
Wouldn't
you have
it
like
be
relief.
unreal if we all just shook hands? Like we've been waiting for it for 9 years,
Yeah.
and someone gets it, and we just all shake hands. But that clip goes nowhere.
No,
We
we
did
did that after.
and that's
people-
not real,
And people would be like, oh, they faked it.
right?
Even more crazy, though, I played with somebody that played their 3rd round of golf and made a hole-in-one.
That's
And
so
it's just
annoying.
was just dumb luck.
Well, did you ever?
Ovechkin-
Ovechkin, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't a. He swung and missed.
Yeah, I think he whiffed and then.
Yeah.
made
Oh, it was one of
contact
those-
So it was
the
his third
second
shot.
time and it
Fuck.
went
And
in.
in 3 par.
That was his
hole-in-ones.
first time ever swinging a club, right?
I think it was his first round of golf ever. But
Yeah.
I don't think it was a hole in 3. I think he swung first, whiffed,
Whiffed, yeah.
and then swung again. So it was a
So it was
hole
really
in 2,
Yeah.
which is actually like almost way more rare than a hole in
Yeah.
1.
I saw a post yesterday that was going. It was on the golf Reddit, and it was like the top post. And the guy said almost a nightmare. And his first ball he had deposited into the water. Second one hit the pin and sat on the edge. So it's like, thank God
would
it
hate
doesn't
that.
go in
Yeah.
on the mulligan because you can't live with that
Yeah.
That or if
good
you
par.
ace a hole just by yourself, and then it's the whole like
nightmare.
That's
Did you
the
play with
nightmare.
anybody?
I think you take
Dude,
that to your
We
grave.
film so much, and you're about to experience this. Like we film so many of our shots that if we were to somehow get on a par 3 and we're not filming it, like if I'm just playing with my buddies and I make a hole in 1, I'll kill myself. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
I would-
Like,
I would- I
That's,
don't
that's got to be the
even-
ultimate.
I
right?
don't.
Like,
I don't think I would talk about it.
yeah, I think I would hold it. I would hold it.
I
in.
could have one right now.
you
I
don't think we'd be
but-
like, hey, we play a game of integrity. I made a hole in 1. You need to believe me, even though it was just Trent out playing.
I think
the
it'd be
back
hard
nine.
for you to.
I can't.
I could see you start the podcast just like not talking. We'd be like, "What's going on with you?"
No, I don't think I would because no one would believe you.
Yeah, but if you had witnesses,
Doesn't matter,
Doesn't matter.
dude. It's too close to the sun.
I'd have to actually kill those witnesses.
Riggs dealt with a little bit of backlash,
Yeah.
especially from us. Like we gave him a little backlash.
happened,
He
Riggs?
had made a hole in 1. I mean, you could explain it, but it was down a par 3 course.
I was at Bandon Dunes on Buddy's trip and par 3 course, the Preserve, which is a 13-hole par 3 course. And the last hole, I made a hole in 1, and I went up there, and this was Friday of like day 3 of like a 4-day golf trip bender with my buddies, and went up there, and it was with the Taylormade ball that had the little Pac-Mans on it, sick ball. And I went up there and I just took a picture of the ball, and it actually, it was leaning up against the flag because the flag was slightly leaning like backwards or whatever. And so the ball, it was clearly going in, but you have to move the flag a little bit before it falls in. So I was like, what a picture. Took a picture of that, and I just tweeted it out, and I don't think I wrote anything on it.
You didn't.
I just tweeted it out, and people went nuts because once it came out, whenever, like a day or so later, that
you
it
were
was.
playing by yourself.
No, I was with all my buddies. It was just on a short course, par 3 course.
Gotcha.
But the post went viral in our world of Riggs just made a hole in one. Like we're tweeting about it, we're texting about it. Holy shit, it happened. We've been waiting for this. And then when we got the information, it was like, yeah, it was a par 3 at the preserve. And then it's like, how do you not include that in the initial
like
tee?
65 yard.
I legit.
So that doesn't count for you.
But you
guys?
started at tee box.
That's not the argument, though. You know what I mean? It's like you, in our world, which I was explaining to Beef, like it's fucked at how many times we play in front of the camera. To get it not on camera would be like a catastrophe.
Okay.
And then to at least to tell people that
I'm
it
with you,
finally
Jared.
happened needs to be like the most biggest moment ever. It's like
Yeah.
we've been waiting for this thing forever. You know what I mean?
So we're not
in a
counting
di-
that.
Jerry, well, what the point is, their point is we're not counting it to the degree that the photo led everyone to believe.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because it went nuts.
Oh, dude, golf.com or whoever wrote a legit article based on it being like, does this count as a hole in one? It got
Right,
that
it's
much
crazy.
traction. My argument back was like, we got people riled up. Everybody's talking about it, and that we're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Yeah.
Their argument was like, it's almost detrimental to the brand that we're like,
Because I think
Right.
the only commentary you put on, I think you tagged Taylormade and you tagged fore-play. I think Taylormade ended up putting up like one of those like
Yes.
Trent broke 100
Yeah, that's
posts, and it was
right.
like no.
And the worst part was Bob had just gotten his a week before. Or
Oh,
something.
I think that's right.
So like, you know, Callaway was posting shit. So like now Taylormade's jumping in, putting in our hole in
That's
one.
right.
And
Yeah.
it's like, well, we did it like, I don't know.
Yeah.
not the like,
Right.
just not the same.
Okay.
Not on video, not.
Here's one that is always baffling to me. I'm told that in order for a true hole in one to count, you need to play a full 18 hole round, and keep your score and play the regular thing. Like if you went out for 9 holes, twilight round, and you made a hole in one, it doesn't count.
I disagree with that.
I disagree
also
with that,
disagree.
and I disagree with it even more now. So that like the Gin app, like, well, you can put in 9 hole
9
rounds
holes,
now.
yeah.
Instead of having to wait for another 9, because that's how it used to be.
Yeah, like that's a legitimate round of golf now.
Yeah.
I have
That's
a-
also incredible that that not happened until like 2024, where you could log 9 hole rounds.
Yeah.
And it's always like it was used to just sit there as 9,
and then you'd have
Or-
to combine it with
Or
another.
back in
Yeah.
the day, you had to wait 14 days for your actual handicap to like
Dude, I got
update.
fucked by that several times where you would have a really solid 9,
yeah.
and then not post another 9 for another 2 months and have another really solid 9, and it would come in as like a 1 handicap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
yeah.
no, I don't.
Yeah.
I
you
think
never do
anyone
that
getting it-
successfully.
my
No.
best friend had his first hole in one at Marion, and
Unreal.
it goes in. He's celebrating. Immediately after that, the lightning alarm goes off. He's on whatever, like the 13th hole, and so they had to go in. And he goes into the clubhouse, and they tell everyone like, "Yeah, he just made an ace." And people in the clubhouse were like, "If you can't go out and finish the round, it doesn't count."
Well, that's it.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
like that.
that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
what you're beholden to the weather. Like, what can
that,
you do?
no,
you
we're
have
saying
that-
that says more about those people than it does about.
Yeah.
I agree.
He
You
made
have that
an
same
ace.
conversation at Goat Hill Park tomorrow. They're gonna be like, "We'll give you
I think-
whatever you want." That's an ace.
Maybe I'm having the story a little bit wrong, but like, I think that was the concern. I think people were like letting him buy the drinks for them and stuff like that, of course.
Yeah.
But that
Like
was
would
a gray
Marion
area.
put him up on like
he got the basket.
okay.
All right.
They give you the basket from the pin that you
Wow.
make the ace on.
What a
Oh,
cool
that's just
hole in one
fucking
prize
awesome.
too.
That's cool.
That's sick.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Those baskets,
Those
wicker
are-
baskets. is that
Couldn't
what they're
have a
called?
better souvenir. Yeah.
Awesome.
But seriously
Yeah.
though, if it happens to Goat Hill, is that legit?
Yeah, of course.
It's
it is.
18 holes.
18 holes and it's okay.
It's like a
It's
par
got a
65 or
USGA handicap and rating.
Great.
It's
Yeah.
18 holes. I do
great.
think it's a little shorter and whatnot, but that counts, man.
Great.
In
I
my
think-
opinion, right?
Given how much this is built up for this group, we would probably want the first ace to happen at an elite course, which to me means that from this point on we should only play like top 50 courses in America.
Honestly, this problem
point.
has gotten so bad that the only recourse we had was add more guys.
Yeah.
And we were just like, hopefully they get it.
Double the guy.
Me,
Double
Riggs,
the
and
chances.
Me, Riggs, and Frankie ain't happening.
No.
Clearly, so we had to add a bunch of guys.
How would you feel though, like if I came in and I hit one?
Yeah, tomorrow's Jersey Jerry's day, dude.
Jerry,
We're rooting for
Jerry,
it.
We're
I
rooting
can't
for you,
tell
Jerry.
you
You'd be the
how-
perfect guy. You'd
We're
be the
buying
perfect
drinks.
guy.
That would make me so happy. I would be thrilled.
We have a lot of chances tomorrow. To
That'd
be
be
honest.
electric.
What's
We've
the
got
closest
6
you ever
guys
came?
tomorrow.
No, that sounded weird. What's how do I rephrase that?
I
What's the closest you ever
What was
been?
the first question?
What's the closest you ever came?
All of us?
I don't even,
to a hole in one.
It was that one house outside of Sand Valley that we all were staying in. Trent and I came at the same time in the same room.
I see. Nice. I don't think I've come particularly close to a
Is
hole
what
in
it is, man.
Really?
Truly, I don't think I've come particularly close.
What's
The
close?
closest you ever came was at
Australia.
Barnboogle when Jake Bass forgot to hit record on the
Yeah,
camera.
Tasmania.
That's a nightmare. I hit the stick.
You were on the other
Wow.
side. You were
Hit the
as
stick, hit the
far
stick.
as you
Close.
could be
On the fly or on a roll up?
on a roll.
No, in the air.
I thought it like took like a couple bounces.
No, I think on the fly it hit the stick.
Oh, I thought it was coming in so hot, and then because I remember it shooting into the bunker, didn't it?
It's shot left.
Yeah.
And this was like 5 years ago, and all four of us, Lurch was on the show, all four of us hit the green and hit it tight for the first time in like history. And we're walking up to the green, and Jake Bass, God bless him, everybody makes mistakes. He just heart sank, and he goes, guys, I have horrible news. I'm pretty sure none of that was on camera.
You didn't hit record.
And he's like, I don't know how this happened. I'm looking back through. I'm pretty sure I just wasn't recording. And we were like, no problem. We went back. We all hit again. Of course, Trent hit in a bunker where a black snake almost killed him.
That's right.
Which ended up being great for the footage.
It was.
Because we had him being chased around by a very death-delivering snake in
Where the
Australia.
devil keeps his pets.
That's right.
It's crazy.
But yeah, the closest I ever came, I hit the pin about 2 months ago in the member out in Arizona with an 8-iron from like 150. One bounce, hit the pin, and stopped like a millimeter away.
I came unbelievably close at.
It's gonna turn into great clips.
I came unbelievably close at
We're just never gonna do it.
oh my god,
Buffalo Ridge?
no, it's the other one.
Wild Wings.
No.
Paynes Valley,
Ozark
Buffalo,
National.
Ozark National. There is a par 3 at
That's
Ozarks
very
National that is like the tee box of the next hole is above it. You know which one it is. It's like
Sorry, I was still
Ozarks National
allowing
par
joke.
3, a beautiful par 3, like built into like the hill, and then the tee box to the next hole's above it.
Yeah.
It's like 7 or 8.
7 or 8, and all my buddies, my dad, I got my dad, my father-in-law, all my buddies are on the top tee, all my buddies are on the green behind me. I hit this little, like, I forget what the yardage was, maybe 145 yards. I maybe hit like a 9 or an 8, and it went bounce, hit the bottom of the stick, and sat on basically an inch or two away from the hole. And everyone went nuts, screamed, like we thought it went in, and on a buddy's trip. Would have been, and there was video. My dad took the video, but it was blurry, and he never hit the screen, so the whole thing is just the screams.
But it's like,
Which would have been a nightmare.
my dad's been playing golf for 50 years. He just turned 74. He got his first hole in one when he was 72. It's like,
Luck of the draw, man.
I've been on 4 different buddies trips where someone got an ace.
Wow.
And 3 of them were the guy's first ones.
Wow.
2 of them I was in the group.
I've never
I
been
remember
around a
your
hole
brother
in
got
one.
one.
My brother got one the first time we ever went to Bandon Dunes on the 10th hole at Pacific Dunes, which
That's
was like the
fucking
sickest par 3
outrageous.
ever.
How awesome.
And that was Josh Isner hit his ball first to about 3 feet. And then my brother stepped up next, hit a 9-iron from like 160. It was downhill, downwind a little bit. One hop, rolled a little in the hole. And
great.
we went nuts.
What's like the yardage like where people would complain like, that's not real?
Under 100, I think.
Yeah.
Under 100? Gotcha.
You know, what's the one at Bandon? The one that everyone
squeaky
downhill. How long is that hole?
I couldn't
Excuse
hear
me,
you
not
over
Bandon,
Alex.
Pebble.
Alex Bush has like
so
gravy in
it's,
his shoes.
that can
100,
play.
100 yards,
Shortest I think
110
you
holes.
can do is like 82 yards or something like that. But if you're playing from the Reds,
You jar one there, nobody's going to complain.
No,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I
Nobody.
think if you played like a front pin from the front of the back tee box there, it's still under 100 yards, even for the back tee, I think. It's a short hole.
It is, yeah.
Frankie still can't
Haven't hit the green.
Loves it, dude. This
You
might
didn't
be
do it
your year.
last time?
that's the ultimate head fuck hole because you're literally looking down at this
I
thing,
have a painting.
and it's either going to be ice thin scolded it in the ocean or
Guys have
right
hit,
in the front 2 bunkers.
if the weather's fucked there, guys have hit 4 irons on that hole. Like
Yeah.
it's
My
You
favorite
guys
hole in the
played there
world.
before?
Pebble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't even want to tell you.
We're
I
such
played, like,
assholes, dude.
played
I
6
play there
times.
all the time.
That's crazy.
Fuck.
Jerry,
That's
this group of guys there aren't many golf courses they haven't played.
Jerry, you've made an ace at Pebble. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
I was
have
gonna
on
say, on
simulator.
that-
That is actually
We're
Jerry's
going.
hole.
You're gonna play Pebble. We're gonna play Pebble.
Dude, that's
with
like
you.
an iconic
Jerry,
place.
you're
And the
Make another
guys
race
there,
next
they're
week.
gonna love you going there because you did the whole thing.
They
with
put
the
out
whole
the
month.
flag. They made a flag.
Yeah, they made
for
a
you.
flag. Yeah,
They
yeah.
sent it to you?
Yeah, they did. It was
Unbelievable.
awesome.
Jerry,
You broke the
imagine
golf
you
ball.
go to the real Pebble Beach and you get to that hole and you make a hole in one.
Oh my
You're
god.
talking
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full circle. Hollywood movie.
Gotta jump in the Pacific.
Yeah.
No, people can hate us for a lot of reasons, and they do. But number one could be the amount of times that we've been able to play Pebble.
Yep.
Like it's a place that's
all the time.
no,
You know.
not all the time, but more than I ever thought I would play it.
We played so much that the one time we went with all of us, and then me, you, and Lurch.
Yeah.
Is it you, Lurch, you, and I?
No, me.
Yeah, me. Me, you, and Lurch decided, why don't we just go up to the counter and see if we could just go play?
It is I. I'm sorry.
It's I.
Okay.
Because you take out the others and just say, what would you say?
Right.
You wouldn't say me played Pebble Beach.
Right.
You, Lurch,
Unless
and
you were like
I.
Gollum or something.
You, Lurch, and I, we went. You,
know.
Lurch, and I went to
Jar
the
Jar
counter.
Binks might say.
We had
The
already
Cookie
played
Monster.
'Say,
18.
we now know who it is. So we did that.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, no one knew that it was Lurch. So now
I
that
know.
I've repeated.
My thought would be like find a way to make it so you don't even have to guess.
Right.
The three of us, Trent, Lurch, myself, we.
Okay, perfect.
There.
We were playing.
So we went and did
I
a
guess
Twilight
to
round.
Frankie's
Wait,
point,
who
though,
went?
I could have been there too.
He
See what
could have
I'm
been there
saying?
too.
This
So he was
sucks.
trying to really
Yeah.
clarify.
He's right. I don't know why we stuck on that. I'm being
See, I think
an
you just
asshole.
go, hey, the crew was
Who sucked on that?
Riggs,
Frankie,
Trent, Frankie,
you, and I.
me.
All right.
And you just define the group that way.
I think so. The story here is that we went and played it again, and there was no one on the golf course. It felt like a country club. The sun was setting. We were able to play within 3 hours. We carried our own bag, and we went and we played, and we got to the 7th hole. We're out there by ourselves. There's not a person in front of us or behind us. Perfect weather, 62 degrees. Sun is setting at Pebble Beach. We had already played 18. We're on, the 7th hole again for the second time. I have never hit the green, and Lurch had the idea to let's just drop a couple balls and just get the demon out. Like, you've never hit this green. It's your favorite hole in the world.
You got a painting of it.
I have a painting of it. I was like 0 for 4 at that time, and it's embarrassing. Every single time I dribble it with a 54 degree, it's crazy. I'm doing things you can't do with wedges. And I said, no, I'm not going to take an extra shot. This course means so much to me, and we are so lucky to play it that I will not take an extra shot on it just to fucking have some arcade. I'm not going to turn it into this, driving range.
Yeah.
Hitting a shot on the 7th hole at Pebble Beach is the most I hold it to the highest regard of like, I've made it in golf. I'm here. This is it. We're playing Pebble Beach. I'll never take it for granted. So I didn't. I hit one shot, put it into the ocean.
Last year at the tab,
0 for 5.
That was a great finish.
And you love it. 0 for 5 and you love it.
That was a great
Took
finish.
my dad there. I said, this is my favorite hole in the world. And there was such a marine layer fog that I had to pull out my phone while we were standing on the 7th green, the tee box, to show him what it typically looks like. I said, no, look. He goes, yeah, I get it, Bray. It's beautiful. I said, no, Dad, you have got no idea. We couldn't see anything. Couldn't even see the green.
That's tough.
Yeah. He goes, that's what it usually looks like? Oh, my God.
We got a hell of a crew today. We're going to play closest to the pin.
All right.
And I want
love
everyone to
it.
know that closest to the pin is brought to you by Tax Act. It's that time of the year. Get locked in. Go to taxact.com. Start filing today. That is taxact.com. Start filing today. I believe a one closest to the pin champion, Trent Ryan, brought it today, or is it?
I do have it.
All right.
Do we want to do a recap at all?
I don't know.
Alex Bush does.
Here you
have
go,
a mic.
Alex Bush. He's got gravy in his shoes. Have you heard them?
You
been
actually
squeaking
sound
around.
best without a mic.
So he's going to give a recap on closest to the pin, which is a fresh leaderboard because it's a new year.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, come on.
I have to
All
stretch.
right,
tomorrow
Alex,
morning.
the floor is yours.
So week 1, and I'm including the one from Tuesday of your curse words. Right. Week 1 was winning margin at the Cotton Bowl, which was Ohio State, Texas, 14. Trent with 10 gets on the board first.
Boy.
Yeah, dude, I'm dominant. I
He's a
dominate.
champ.
I
don't
dominate
get
at
too cocky.
guessing random numbers. That's
You're
it.
sick.
Um,
Blowout city.
Hideki's finishing position at Sony Open, T16. Frankie was the closest.
There you go.
Will there be an ace at the Sony Open? No. Frankie, 2 points.
Nice.
And then Riggs's highest ball speed, he sent the data. It was 156.4. Are we gonna include? So we all had just regular numbers, no decimals. Are we gonna include 2 points if someone was 156?
No, you had to guess it right on.
But we didn't use decimals.
That's on us.
Okay,
That's on us.
So I get 1 point then.
Okay.
He was like, so can I get this extra point here? I like the lobby.
His highest could have been 156 and that's 156.
True.
That's right.
True.
Okay. So
And then the last one was from Tuesday. Curses from Frankie in the first 53 minutes.
God.
So
So to give this context,
here,
Hold on,
put that
you
mic
got the
over
mic.
there.
B, if you want to give me this
Yeah,
mic real
to
quick.
give this context to you guys, we got to how many minutes?
It was 53-ish.
We got to 53 minutes, and I said, "Have I said a curse word yet?" Because I honestly, at that point, felt like I didn't. So I would love to know how many I subconsciously didn't even realize I was saying. How many did I say?
Okay, so you said 12. And hold on. 12. About 6 of them or 7 of them were when you were talking about Oz Perlman.
I told you that.
And 3 in the first 10 seconds.
I was like, you were just like, this fucking fuck Oz Perlman is like a motherfucker.
And then a few minutes later, he was like, I don't think I have curses. Whole show.
Okay.
So that was 12. So actually, Riggs and Kyle Timms gets his first points on the board. They
Come
tied.
on.
You were what, 3 off below? He was 3 off above
right.
because he had 15.
All right.
Equal distance.
So Frankie
God I'm on the
3,
board. That would've sucked.
Frankie 3, and everyone else has 1,
Okay, including Kyle Timms.
But everybody's on the board, though.
including Kyle Timms.
Everybody's on the board.
Everyone's on the board.
Enjoy it while it
I
lasts.
Everyone's on
wanted
the board.
on the record from Alex Bush that Alistair Doherty wanted to be remotely included
he
for the
did.
whole year, but we weren't sure logistically how to do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's sort of part of a talking point.
It's gonna
you
be
can't
tough.
talk. It's
Yeah.
tough. But credit to Alistair. He shot 7 under today
Nice.
and finished top 20 in the second Corn Fair Tour.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've got close to the pin this week.
Really
How-
quick, dumb
Yeah,
question
go
about
ahead.
Alistair. Nothing that he did last year starts him at a better spot. Is that a dumb question?
The only in terms of reshuffles and getting into all the events, that definitely helps him. So he has the highest Corn Ferry Tour status I think you can have.
He didn't start at a certain number.
No. Starts at 0 with everyone else.
Everyone starts at 0 in
And then he missed the
rankings.
cut last week, so he's kind of behind. Top
Got it.
20 will help a lot this week.
Got it.
All right, I've got close to the pin this week. How are we going to do it? Are we just going to say it out loud? Or are we going to
No, well,
text it?
yeah, text it. Everyone
Get
got
a
their
group
phone?
of all of us.
You got everyone's number, right?
All right. So, first close to the pin for this week. Farmers Insurance Open is this week. Torrey Pines. We played in the Pro-Am.
And everyone knows how to send an invisible text.
Do you know how to
You
do that?
hold it. You know how to do it. No. All right. Well, once he makes the
In your defense,
group,
Jerry,
he can
none
do
of
it.
us did.
We didn't know when we first started doing this.
Oh,
I thought it was
whoa.
something only
Open
sketchy.
this up.
people
Hold on.
would do.
Before we start this, we got some serious people coming in here.
What's
Oh,
happening
yeah, who
right
do we
now?
got coming in
They
here?
got the head of Taylormade coming in
Oh,
here.
my gosh.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. There he is.
Of course.
Whoa.
Much activity in here.
Oh my gosh, how's it going? Yes, sir. All right, I mean we're back. You probably just saw some chaos. The CEO of Taylormade just walked in just to say hi to us, and we haven't seen him in a bit, and that was a great conversation. Obviously not going to be part of the podcast,
Nope.
but great to see him.
Yeah.
I mean, just a powerful man in golf in the world, really.
Very, very powerful.
It's a huge company.
He's
Nice look to him.
Oh, great look to him. It's a huge company.
serious aura.
I don't know if we realize how big of a company this is.
I think I have a pretty good idea.
I've
But
seen
he's
some numbers.
yeah, they're everywhere. This
And-
Taylormade stuff, I tell you.
Think
It's
about
everywhere.
all the stuff he has to kind of manage. You have the biggest golfers in the world. You have Tiger Woods, Scotty Scheffler, Nelly Korda, and then you have all the equipment on the amateur side of there's so many things that you have to worry about.
It's a huge business.
It's you would think that just sponsoring the pros would be its own thing. But that's
just
maybe
part
the
of it.
smallest part for that. I mean, think about how many clubs they have to manufacture. It's hard to wrap your head around.
Very
It really
impressive.
is. Yeah, impressive guy. Super impressive. We're very lucky to have conversations with a guy like that.
100%.
All right, so
All right, let's
we've
play
cut
our
you off a
stupid
million
little game.
times. Yes,
Closest to the pin, I have them.
let's go.
Farmers Insurance Open is this week. That's what I was saying. We played in the Pro-Am. It was great. Had a good time. The first question is, what will be the lowest score of the week at the Farmers Insurance Open? Just overall. Lowest score
How do you
posted.
do invisible?
Like 1 day low score? You're talking about 4 days.
4 days. Just lowest
days,
score,
what's the
lowest round of the 4 rounds.
Not to par, just the number.
Just the number.
Okay, Jerry, when you send the text,
Okay, I think I got
you
it.
hold down.
Yeah, I was going to say. I just asked if it was 1 round or 4 rounds. You just
Just
said
one.
All
All right, so just one round.
Oh,
all right.
okay.
Just we have to disclose that they started today.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but so do it for do the lowest round on. Oh fuck! I'm gonna
Lowest round. Good call. Boy,
Yeah.
that really screwed me up.
I know it's a Wednesday, Saturday because
Lowest
of the
round on Saturday.
championship.
All right, I'm
Sunday,
changing mine then.
That's fine.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
National
change
Football
my
League. Lowest round. Sorry, say that again. I'm sorry.
On Saturday.
On Saturday.
Ridge, do you want to read them?
I got no idea. I can read them
Oh, yeah.
because you don't have a microphone.
Alex doesn't have a mic.
Sorry, are we doing number or number to par?
Number.
Touche. Good thing I just changed it. I would have been way off.
And the rough's thick this week too. You guys played it, right?
Oh, we did. The
Really
balls
thick.
disappear immediately.
I don't know if I was.
Imagine if I would have said -7 and the actual lowest was 65. Would have
Yeah.
been off by 7. Yeah, it would have been tough.
That'd been tough.
You know what I mean?
All right.
All right, everybody's in.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out which ones didn't count the first time. Okay. We have a 66 from Alex Bush. We have -11 from Jerry. This will be a hard number for somebody to hit. We have -7 from Francis.
Somebody gotta go lights
Again.
out.
They would have to go out, not hit a single shot, and somehow pick up 7 shots.
We said the number, not to par.
Yeah.
It's their first time.
And then Trent and myself both said 65.
I think we can give him a break here.
equate
We can give him
those.
a
Give him a
break,
break
yeah,
here. Yeah.
So Jerry says 61. Jerry says 61, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 61.
65. Okay.
Yeah, I
and
think
I
that's
said
fine.
65.
That's fine. I said
Okay.
65 as well. A bunch of 65s.
I apologize for making that harder than it should have been.
Oh, you're fine.
Next question, close to the pin. Next week, Jupiter Lynx and the Boston Common play TGL. Big matchup.
Huge.
Tiger Woods,
Blockbuster.
Rory McIlroy. What will the average viewer number be for that TGL matchup? They've been coming out with these numbers pretty quickly. They really have been. So I think the first Tiger match was a little over 1 million average viewer. You can end up peaking at like 2.5 million or something. But they always come out with the average viewer pretty soon after the match airs, in the next couple of days. So what will that number be? It's a big one.
Who's playing?
It's the Jupiter Lynx and the Boston Common, which essentially is Tiger versus Rory.
So we're looking for average or peak?
Average. Again, the first week Tiger played 1.1 million, I
I
want
think
to say.
it was about that. Something like that.
So,
And the first week without Tiger was like 960,000 or something like that.
something like that.
Yeah. Really, it is a question of, is it going to continue? Is it going to flatline when Tiger plays? Is it going to pick up? Is it going to go down?
That's why it's a
It's a
question.
great question.
Thank you.
I really like it. Is it
You know?
that's why, it's a fucking question. I think everybody's in. Okay. Wow. All right. I'll go highest to lowest on these.
Okay.
Francis, 8 million.
No, 800,000.
No, that says 8 million in there. A couple more zeros on there.
Oh boy.
Whoopsie
Okay.
daisies.
I don't think we can let that
Are
one
you all right?
That's fine.
Hey,
I
Tiger,
meant to
hey,
write-
Tiger
I
does
meant to
move the needle.
write 800,000, but
He moves the needle.
it could be huge.
I mean, I gotta be honest, TGL is rooting hard for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something drastic would have to happen for 8 million people to chime in.
Yeah, right. Like Keegan pulls out like a shotgun.
Yeah.
Right. Like something crazy
Yeah, right.
would
Yeah,
have
I
to
gotta
happen.
watch this. Cody Frankie, 1.76. Alex Bush, 1.4. Trent Ryan, 1.4. Jersey Jerry, 936, 500.
Okay.
And then I had 1.1 million.
Are you not getting my text the second time you haven't read mine?
Shit.
1.3.
What was invisible? I think.
know.
1.3 million.
It's just-
Did I not read you?
I don't think so. But
Sorry.
I said it.
Okay. All right. Those
Have
are all
you
good
blocked?
guesses.
Yeah.
I think
So you getting my text?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You're wrong.
my gut feeling, based
Turns-
obviously on my answer, is
Dan
that
Rappaport tweets.
my gut is that the number's going to go up. I think Rory and Tiger, I think they bring the juice, personally.
Okay.
That's 8
8
million.
million. That's in for 8 million. We can't let him slide twice.
Championship Sunday, AFC and NFC title game.
Come on.
You know, it's a big one. Have you made your decisions on your pool?
I'm making my decisions. I'm going Bills and I'm going Eagles, both to cover.
But what numbers? What numbers do you have left?
I'm
numbers.
going 11 and 12.
And then you're saving 13
I'm
for the
saving
Super
13
Bowl.
for the Super Bowl.
All right. So you putting 11 on the Bills?
Putting
or
on
you put
11.
on...
I'm putting 11 on the Eagles and 12 on the Bills.
And the Eagles spread is pretty big.
Yeah, it's like 6.5 or
Okay.
right. I think it's 6.5.
And the other one's
right?
like a point and a half, right?
yeah,
So like a toss-up?
yeah. I actually think in this pool, I think it might be 2.5.
All right.
So my question is, how many rushing yards combined for Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley?
Wow.
And
Josh Allen and Saquon.
yeah, those combined. And you, Alex Bush doesn't have a mic, but he could probably speak to Josh Allen's rushing yards.
No, don't. Let's just win.
Okay, all right, fine. And Saquon Barkley in his last game had 205.
Yeah.
He's been a fucking machine.
Josh Allen and Saquon combined rushing yards.
Correct.
Carry the 0.
I know. I'm making people do math here.
Add the 1.
God, I don't think that was a good guess.
8 million would also be another huge number.
That'd be an amazing.
If you threw that in there again, Francis.
Way
Alex-
to go, Alex Bush.
Oh,
8 million, he said. That was great.
All right. I think they're all in.
okay.
Frankie Borelli, 255. Trent Ryan, 219. Francis Ellis, 173. I had 213. Do we have... Oh, those guys were in early. 157 from Cody. 178 from Jersey Jerry. Did I miss anyone?
Nope.
Did I miss Bush? Alex Bush, 189.
Okay.
All right, Bush.
Wow.
180 for Saquon and 9 for.
No, like 40 yards for
40 for Saquon.
Okay, and then the last one for the week, I ordered dice or die on Amazon.
I love where this is going.
Well, I ordered those, and I'm going to roll 2 dice or die. I don't know the proper term. Is it dice or die?
2 die.
2 die.
plural.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll 2 die on next week's podcast when we record. What will that combined number be?
Love this.
For the
I
casino
play that
guy,
game
the
Shut the
odds are that
Box
it's
every single day at my house, and I've yet to shut the box. It's impossible to get all 12. It is so hard.
When are you doing this?
I'm doing when we record on
Jerry.
on Monday.
I messed up.
So Tuesday show.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
It's good, clean fun there.
I have to go take a piss.
You can go take. I think we're pretty much wrapped up here.
Yeah.
We wrapped it up. It's been an hour and a half, right, Bushman? Well, we had a little.
48.
You say take a. How do you say? You say take a piss, take a pee,
I gotta use the restroom.
or use the restroom.
Yeah.
You're talking with your boys.
I got a dump out of my
I
dick.
gotta take a piss.
What's wrong with that?
We were talking about that in the video yesterday. We were just saying like, what's like the most just manly way to say it? You know, like you're not gonna walk. We were basically saying like, what would be the most outrageous thing to say if you had to like go up to the front of a restaurant and be like, you know,
Where's the restroom? I gotta.
I gotta bleed the snake.
That's a good one.
oh yeah, I said, imagine going up to like the hostess, be like, where's the shitter?
Where's the shit house in this place?
Where's the shit house?
I think we're all in probably.
Francis 7. Riggs 7. Cody Frankie 7.
Yeah, that's the most common number.
Trent 9. Frankie 6. Jersey Jerry 4. Bushman 6.
Okay.
4.
I think that's
Double
it. Close to the
deuces.
pin.
Wow, that's it.
That'll do it.
That is a wrap.
Probably wrap on the pod too.
I think that's pretty much all.
Is there
I
anything
have
else
on
in the world
list
that
here.
happened? No. Inauguration went through. That was nice.
Yep.
It was fun. It was interesting.
Bears hired head coach.
Very interesting.
Ben Johnson. head
Yep.
coach.
Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Bears.
Kirk Minahan's been breaking all kinds of Patriots news.
That's my favorite thing
Jets
going
have
right
a new
now.
head coach, Aaron Glenn.
Kirk broke every single piece of Patriots news in
that
the
is
last
that is
2
a
weeks.
great narrative going.
It's
right
so
now.
fun.
The Dodgers signed yet another. They signed another like reliever somehow, some way. They've signed every single free agent all off season except
Good
for
for
Juan
them.
Soto. It's unbelievable.
That's good for
I think
them.
they might individually, they might cause another lockout.
I think they're praying for the world to end so they don't have to owe all these people money in
I don't get it.
2050.
Not bad.
Makes
They're
no
just
sense.
expecting California to have an earthquake and break away from.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, we don't know
We don't
shit.
have to pay you guys.
We're part of something else now.
Yeah.
We're independent. We're part of Canada. The world's only movable, floating, green, immaculate course conditions, panoramic lake views, and one of my favorite URLs I've ever been told to read or check out, which is floatinggreen.com.
It's perfect.
Right to the point.
It
is.
really is.
Because it's, Coeur d'Alene, it's going to trip up a few people. What was the URL again, though?
Oh, it's floatinggreen.com.
Floatinggreen.com. That's marketing right there. That's great marketing. It's a great place. Check it out and maybe go
There was a meeting
Yep.
at Coeur d'Alene, and they're like, hey, we need a new website. We got to get, the word out here, how good this golf course is. We got a floating green. What do you guys think? And there was a bunch of, CoeurD'Alene.com, CoeurD'Alene.org,
Yep.
visit Coeur d'Alene, blah, blah, blah. And then someone in the back of the room says, why don't we call it floatinggreen.com? And
That
then I think
person
the whole room kind of
is a
just
genius.
stopped. And they're like, you know what? That's a great idea.
That person is now the CEO
That's
of that
right.
company.
See if
yeah.
that URL is
Allegedly.
available. You know what? It is available.
Yep.
Let's go with floatinggreen.com.
It's genius.
Luxury resort accommodations. I'm sure you've seen the green on one of your golf algorithms on TikTok or Instagram Reels or wherever, where it is literally the only actual floating green that there is. They have on here a mahogany water taxi service.
Whoa.
4-caddy, lakefront practice tee, pre-round massage, personalized bag tag, deluxe carts with GPS touchscreen. Golf Digest even says, at the Coeur d'Alene, you're not just pampered, you're spoiled. It's not just an escape, it's an experience. Life's all about experiences, so go check out Coeur d'Alene. My folks went there in the last couple of years with all their friends, have been raving about it and said, you got to get there. That's a great sign. So make sure you visit, what's that URL again?
Floatinggreen.com.
To reserve your tee time today. I have a question. What do you guys feel about Masters commercials that don't have the Masters jingle, but they have another song?
I'm not a huge fan.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I mean, the classics.
Let's keep it simple.
Gotta keep
Yeah.
it simple.
You got one that works. It's the best. I think,
Yeah.
I need it.
No, you get a little too cute. I think you're like trying to do too much when you don't have to do anything with the Masters.
Yeah.
It does everything itself.
You've nailed it once. Just keep it rolling.
Boom.
I want to start hearing Masters stuff happen around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like if we can roll Black Friday so far forward, how can we not just get ready for the Masters 8 months out?
Gives you a long wait. They start hitting you with the jingle in November. It's already a long wait.
Put it on the books.
It's interesting that they do even do it now. Like, does that just to stay cool?
It's just, it's, yeah, you just
keeping it fresh, keeping it on
keeping
top
the
of mind.
mystique alive. It's, it's not like the college. And I know Dave was saying this as like kind of a joke towards Ohio State the other night, but it really did you kind of forgot that the national championship
100%.
was that night. Cause like when things are just like, when you just expect people to know when that date is, it just loses its magic. So like if you're gearing up for the Masters for months, you're like, this is it. It's coming. When it comes,
I think the other thing too, though, is a lot of the golf courses in the north use the Masters as like when golf season starts to open.
yeah,
True.
it's an
So
awakening.
we're out of snow. We're into warmer temperatures. Like this is the official kickoff in the northern half of the country of golf season.
It would be funny to drop one in like September though. Just a Masters commercial coming in 2025.
I guess why? Yeah, I guess why would that be funny? But like January is not funny. You guys just got a ton of snow in the Northeast. Like it's still the middle of winter.
Yeah.
It's
Fair.
like it's kind of preposterous. I mean,
It was 0 degrees when we left Chicago on Tuesday.
Yeah.
zero. We had like 72 more degrees in Arizona. Trent had more.
It was 80. It was 80 in Florida.
Wow.
I love the Master commercial, and I think it's smart. It gets everybody going. I'm surprised that they do it. I love that they do it. I'm just surprised by it. Like, you know what? Let's throw a Masters commercial in the middle of college football.
They know it's cool because it's simple. They don't. There's not flashy. It just shows what.
We're about to finish, but we've watched for the last hour a man try and stay awake to your right.
No, I'm fine.
No, it has nothing to do with the I just watched him.
I feel bad. I'm
really
sorry.
struggle.
I'm
to stay.
a little.
He was looking
jet
right at
lagged.
me,
I've been
just
dealing
asleep.
with time changes.
I know.
It's,
Dude, last night I fell asleep at 7.
yes,
Same.
same.
I got over 10 hours of sleep last
Woke up
night.
at 5:30, just naturally wide awake.
It's
Thought
a
it was-
long flight across the country,
Yeah.
and it really messes you up. It's just
All
been
right.
funny. I've been watching. You've just been fucking doing everything you can.
I drank a
just-
Coke.
You drank a Coca-Cola, really?
I haven't had a Coke in 19 years. So against who I am.
Yeah,
I was
I've
gonna
been
say.
watching. He's been darting his eyes around just to get him activated.
All right, let's wrap this thing up.
I've been squeezing the foreskin of my penis, which I don't even have, and just trying to make myself stay awake.
That's it, guys. We're
Thanks
done.
for joining us, everybody.
What a
an
crew we've got.
ensemble we have.
Great
here.
crew.
You're gonna see this crew a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of the crew that we're gonna roll with. Yeah, great additions, and it's gonna be exciting.
We filmed with everybody today. We're going to film with everybody tomorrow.
Tomorrow's exciting.
We're going to roll
Yeah.
all that out.
Awesome.
I'm
We're
jacked
going to
up.
need one of you to get a hole in one.
The 2v2v2
try.
aspect of it is great. The 3v3 aspect is great.
Have we
How
decided
low can we
teams
go at
yet?
6? I think we have an idea of the teams.
Love it.
I think we have an idea of the teams.
We're doing a little alt shot.
I think the first video we're gonna do is 2v2v2 alt shot.
I love that so much. I think that's the best format
Nice.
ever. You can. I think we can do everybody kind of on this. Like you don't have to do strokes.
Yeah,
You can just play.
I
We can
mean,
figure it out.
we were kind of going through the teams. I'm trying to make it fair. I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, I bet.
We'll figure it out.
Either way, we're making an ace tomorrow.
God, that would be
amazing.
Chisel and stone.
That would be amazing.
It's happening.
Bang.
What's up,
All right.
That would
Francis?
be
Go to bed.
unreal.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thanks to our partners. Thanks, everybody, joining. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy Championship Sunday. We'll be back next week. Hit it hard.
Hit it
Hit it
hard.
hard.
Hit it hard.